it going? Yes. Okay, we're live.
We are live. Hey y'all, welcome to Hatchhack Studios. I'm RT Bear. We got a great show for you. We're gonna celebrate the wonderful Lee Falk. He is the creator of The Phantom and Mandrake the Magician, right, Taylor?
That's right.
Yes. And this is an anniversary to be remembered. So we're gonna celebrate The Phantom. I'm gonna do some drawing for you guys. And like I said, I'm RT Bear, 35-year veteran in the comic book industry, mostly Marvel, DC, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, you name it, probably done it. And I have Taylor Grosso with me, so say hey.
Hi, everybody. I'll be reading your questions, your comments in the chat, so feel free to join the conversation. I believe it is the Phantom's 83rd anniversary. I gotta look it up real quick to confirm that.
Yes.
But did you see online, Art? I don't know if it's true. They call him the first superhero.
I agree. I was also I had a thought that you know how he's just got the white slots like his eyes. There's no eyeballs in the design. Oh, if you guys don't know the Phantom, do we have an image?
Yeah, I'll show them right now.
He's
Actually,
a little older, and I did a bunch of designs for toys, for toy packaging, and it was for the Phantom. And this is the toy. So this is, oh, there he is. This is the original. Oh,
it's okay. Go ahead.
Can keep it going. Oh, here it is.
There he is.
So I was hired to redesign like the corner and the box. So that's what some of those drawings were. So this is an old 60s toy. It was a 12-inch action figure called Captain Action. And it was created by the same person that created, what was it? G.I. Joe.
Wow.
So yeah, it had the same kind of basic G.I. Joe body, but you could outfit it into a bunch of different superheroes. So they had costumes and masks and everything for them. It was pretty cool. I think it was probably mid-60s for this. And yeah, so I did some cover work for Dynamite, right?
Yeah, you can see this is your old signature art. I hardly ever see you. I don't think I've ever seen you use this in contemporary time.
Yeah, so that's the cover. And then I think we found, oh, there's another cover. That's with Captain Action and the Phantom. And
Lady Action?
Lady Action, yeah.
Let's see what else we got. That's Captain Action.
That is the action of the Captain.
But yeah, you guys can see.
Oh, there you go. So you can kind of see that was the corner symbol, like an idea from that packaging I just showed you guys.
And I think this is a little closer.
Yeah, these are just different ideas, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's pretty cool. Let me see what you guys are talking about. We were studying the ghost who walks, the man who cannot die, the guardian of the Eastern Dark, says Mighty Good Studios.
There you go.
And Rhaegar says, The Phantom, there was a movie with Billy Zane that came out. Never saw it. Was it good?
I liked it at the time. What did we find out? It was Christy Swanson, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it had, what's her face?
It had, I'll pull her up right now.
She's married to Michael Douglas.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
That's it, yeah.
Look at how precious she was. She was the bad guy, you said?
Yeah.
Rhaegar says, is Action Jackson a part of this universe?
No. Sorry to say no.
Not yet. So, Art, you have a past with Captain Action and the Phantom. I'm trying to find that Captain Action coinciding image here. But for those of you guys that don't know, when do you think, I don't know how old Captain Action is.
I believe from the early 60s, like mid-60s, probably. And from what I heard, the first Spider-Man licensing ever was Captain Action. So there was a character called Action Boy. He's the one that's up on the top panel, the green panel.
This guy.
And so he became all the teen characters. And then the Captain became all the adult male. And then there's Lady Action. But she came out later. I think she's more of like a current
contemporary
character. Yeah. And so the idea is that the kid would become, like Robin, Aquaman, or Aqualad. What was it? Kid Flash? I don't know. I don't remember all of them. But one of them was Spider-Man. And so I believe that it was the first official Spider-Man license in the early 60s was the Captain Action Spider-Man.
I believe you're right, and I think that remains still one of the most sought after and expensive, not just Captain Action pieces, but like Spider-Man collectibles. Because I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, somebody was making forgeries of that Spider-Man.
Were they?
Yeah, because they have like a record of like, I guess, how many they think exist, like in mint condition, and a couple popped up on the market that they were saying like people were buying them, and like, collectors talk, and they were figuring out that somebody was making forgeries of them.
Wow.
Because they're worth so much money. I forget how much, but
I think I saw one. It was a couple grand at San Diego one year. It was in decent shape, and I almost bought it. I'm such a geek.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought they were.
And if you guys don't know, I don't know if you wanted to talk about the news. There's some new Captain Action news, actually. That, I forget the company's name, but Captain Action might have a show or a cartoon soon.
A cartoon show, and they're using that image, the redesign, as, I guess, the way that they sold the show or whatever, but it's used as most of the advertising and things like that for that show right now. So I was really fortunate to be asked to do that cover, and I guess they thought so much of the redesign that they used it to sell the cartoon show.
It's very cool.
Or help sell the cartoon show. I'm sure it wasn't the only piece, but
it's pretty cool. I think that it's a very strong design you got here.
It was the only piece they used. They sold it based on that one image.
Look at him. He's pretty cool.
I think the cartoon show is going to be kind of like Buzz Lightyear, where he's an action figure, and he's like a retro action figure. I guess he's a little bit between Buzz Lightyear and what was his name? But the cowboy character.
Woody.
Woody. Gosh, how did I forget Woody? And
way less cool sounding than Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. And so I guess he's kind of retro like Woody, but he's cooler, like more sci-fi like Buzz. And so he helps teach a kid how to be a hero or something along those lines. I think that's what the cartoon show is. So it's a little Toy Story-ish meets like superhero.
I think it's pretty cool. I know that he's a character that's been around a really long time in various incarnations, but I don't think that's a bad fit for him. There's actually an article, I'm trying to pull it up right now to read it, and it has, of course, this is from First Comic News, and it has your image that we're showing right now, Art, actually, as their lead-in. It says, leading kids entertainment specialist Cake has announced its partnership with LA-based Atomic Toy Box Entertainment, headed by 4-time Emmy nominee Michael Polis, on the new forthcoming Captain Action series. Based on the successful 1960s action figure brand, so 1960s is that date, the new series will bring Captain Action, his arch nemesis, Dr. Evil.
Oh yeah, by the way, you guys, this was the original Dr. Evil, and I think that thing was more around at the time. They probably would have had grounds for a lawsuit. But I heard an interview with Mike Myers, and he said he did get the name Dr. Evil from the toy line.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's been around since 1960s. Dr. Evil and extraordinary characters to the screen for the first time in an action comedy series aimed at 6 to 11-year-olds. The 11-minute episodes will be shot with children in live-action world and Captain Action and other action figures in CGI and effects. Cake and Atomic Toy Box have brought on board John Dervolani, Legends of Chima, Nexo Knights, as lead writer, and are discussing potential toy partners as well as studios. Apparently it's like a New Zealand-based studio that's making this. So
well, we know what New Zealand can come up with, right?
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, yes.
All the Weta people are going to be working on this.
Those are going to be all the people that couldn't get jobs at Weta, which will be working on this.
Let's switch over to your camera.
Okay.
What are you working on right now, Art?
All right, this is a panel for black and white. And this is Reed showing off his weapon now, his non-lethal weapon. This is the first time you see it in this series. So it has a little bit of an origin that I'm not going to tell.
I was going to say something, but I'm glad that you stifled it.
Spoiler alert. So, let me see if I can find... Look at this, you guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're filling up
letters.
Pages. We're filling up pages. Okay, so... I like doing this. Okay, so this is... Can you see that?
Scoot it over. There we go.
This is the page, and so this is the panel right here. So this is my little thumbnails. So this is the panel here that I'm working on now. And I don't know if you can see this. These are still pretty light. This is a little tighter layout.
I can see it.
For the third panel.
You guys like that we're figuring out the camera now? Looks good, right?
Which will go right here.
Nice.
She's showing off her weapon of choice. This is the, I'm going to show off my weapon page. And, yeah, I'll show that one later. But yeah, basically, yeah, this is the page I'm working on right now. This is page 38, you guys. And we are pretty much going in order. So we're like 15 pages or so away from finishing this bad boy. So, man, this thing's weighing a ton. So, yeah. So that's the page. This is the panel. So this is panel 2. That I'm tightening up and that I'll ink up. Gosh, it's so hard for me not to tell the story on how
Don't do it.
we got to this moment in time, but yeah, I'm not going to do it.
This is one of like, I don't want to, I say this about every single one of them, but this is, every scene is an important scene, but this is like a really cool lead in.
You know what? Every scene, now that I think about it, everything is important. You guys, whenever we email to the colorist or like
this is
letter,
a pivotal scene.
We always say, this is the most important scene or this is a pivotal scene.
Because it is, though.
They really are. Nothing is throwaway in this series.
Bale Wolf says, is that for Black and White Remastered? Yes, page 38 of Black and White Remastered, to be exact.
Yes.
And Muttman says, is this for the remastered version or is this for a new book?
Yeah, this is the remastered.
When we say that pretty much every moment goes to working on remastered, we mean it.
You know what? We're not kidding.
Let me catch up on your guys' chat. Nick D says, I'm super stoked to back Oodles of Doodles.
Ooh, cool.
That is going to be, for those of you that don't know, if you don't mind, Art, I'll go into the whole spiel.
Yeah, go into the spiel. I'll find a book that I can show.
So Oodles of Doodles we're going to do as a separate campaign, but it is actually going to arrive in the in-demand store. I'm going to grab the book right now.
Oh, thanks.
In the in-demand store, I think you can still hear me, on February 20th. And
so professional. I have these all next to me.
It's good. Ahead. We got the camera's good. The mic is good. We got our friends in the chat. So yeah, this book is going to be added to a tier in the Black and White in-demand store. It's kind of a companion piece. If you look at this book, it's pretty cool because there's a whole black and white section.
Cool? You know why it's cool? It's cool because of this right here.
And it's technically the first Hack Shack Publishing book.
Yeah.
Pretty neato.
It's the comic book broad. Her name is Tag.
That's my... I thought that was my Instagram. I've used that for everything.
It's your moniker.
But yeah, this book was... it's the first Hack Shack Publishing thing. It's kind of a companion piece to Black and White. You can see this... That's like White's...
This costume is kind of a hybrid of this costume here and the original costume.
Yeah, it's cool because it looks very similar to the one she ended up with. It almost looks like the Super Combat. Yeah, that's a good side by side. So you can see the kind of natural evolution. And in that book, there's a whole black and white section. And I think we talk about the future plans for Black and White. And you get to see the original covers and stuff in the original series. It's pretty cool. But that's going to be added to the in-demand shop. You can get it as an add-on to your book. And it's ready to ship. So if you buy just the book as an add-on, it'll be ready to ship. And the book is basically the book's already completed, obviously. But if you haven't bought Black and White, you can also get a Black and White bundle, which is the Black and White book and the Oodles book. And those will ship together. It's a pretty cool deal. There's other stuff you can get, head sketches. We got some print packages, but that's all going to be out on February 20th.
So 2 days? It'll be this Wednesday?
Yes. 2 days away.
Yes.
Make sure you follow on all the social media.
And there's only 180 of those books, you guys.
Most importantly.
That's it. So this is going to be very, very limited, and they will sell out very fast. So get in early if you want to pick up a book.
Yeah, when they're gone, they're gone.
That's it for this version of the book, definitely.
So you can get yourself a copy of Oodles while they last, and that money is also gonna, since the book is already completed, it's not gonna take away from our time to work on Black and White, like you can see we're doing here, which is cool. So if anybody's worried about that, worry not.
Worry not. Yes.
Nick says the Phantom doesn't get that much love anymore. The Phantom movie was great in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, yes, and thank you, because I was gonna try to steer it back to the big celebration of the Phantom. What do you say? 80 what?
Ooh, let me check it out.
How many years? It's
'Cause
gotta be longer than that.
Well, the 80th anniversary is in 2016, so it would be the 16, so it'd be the 83rd anniversary, which is pretty crazy.
So, what are the DC characters on? Are they on their 75th? What are they on?
Oh gosh, who's the first DC character?
What do you mean?
Like, who was their first? Like, did they have like a launch character that is? Because like Marvel always claims the Human Torch is the first technical Marvel character.
Well, it's Superman.
Is he?
Yeah.
So Superman
gets the first superhero of all time.
Let's see how old he is in comparison to the Phantom. Because the thing
I thought like 75 years, something. They're probably longer now.
Let's see. Superman first appeared. We got to find this out because the thing I saw on Facebook was like talking about the Phantom's first one. He first appeared in April 18th, 1938.
Okay, so 38, that's Superman, right?
Yeah, that's Superman. So 1938 is Superman. The Phantom. Let's see. The tension is killing me. Okay, the Phantom came out. I have the Lee Falk thing. 1936.
Ooh, 2 years before Superman.
Yeah, so he's actually... He does predate him, if Wikipedia is correct here.
And you guys, that open white, it was predates Batman.
The whited out eyes?
Yeah, the whited out eyes where you can't see the pupils.
I always thought
that
cool.
was a killer idea. Like, one of the things as a kid I always thought was awesome is you can never see Batman's eyes.
Yes. And they haven't done it in the movies yet.
No, I remember a friend of mine, my roommate John Moore, was good friends with Sam Hamm, who was the guy that wrote the first two Batman, the Tim Burton films. He was the screenwriter. And I got to read those scripts before the movies came out.
Ooh.
And there is a description where Sam worked it into the script that he had like lenses that went over the cowl, and so you couldn't see his eyes. And that this predates like all the Iron Man ideas, that he could use the eyes and he could see infrared and what is the other one? At night vision.
So they'd be like, they're like almost like little tech readouts or something.
Yeah, and that had basically some information on them and stuff like that. So
it's a neat idea.
Yeah, so he had that, and I think the way Hollywood was wired at the time is they felt like you needed to see the actor as much as possible.
They're still like that, I think.
Yeah, so which is so weird that they went counter with the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, because he was almost exclusively covered.
Helmet. Yeah, he had a helmet. I thought that was so weird because he looks like the Goblin even without makeup on.
It's perfect casting. Like, they could have just given him makeup and you would believe it. It's pretty perfect.
Yeah, like I thought that was really weird that they did that. But anyway, that was kind of, it was in the script, and I always thought it was a missed opportunity. And maybe if DC and Warner Brothers is listening or taking note, watch Spider-Man: Homecoming, watch Civil War, and see how Hollywood finally got all that stuff right.
Because Black Panther, like we talked about it, Black Panther's eyes and the mask look cool. That they have those like chrome kind of lenses, and they could
also there's Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. They managed to give him expressions, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they kind of move in and out.
Have you seen cosplayers make those? Because it always looks awesome to me.
There's like a instructional video how to even make them.
It's so cool. But there's a hashtag on Instagram for people like. It's called this like white out the eyes or something for Batman, because there's a cosplayer that has whited out Batman eyes, and it's on the I believe it's the Ben Affleck suit. Like it's the same kind. It looks way better. Nick says besides Zorro, that was her sexiest role, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, that's right. She was in Zorro too.
She was.
She's in all these pulp hero like movies.
Before we came on,
and now her husband is
Ant-Man. Before we went on, we were both talking about how funny it would be if she still played, like if she played Janet in Ant-Man. And like you can just imagine how it would play. I don't know, they did the whole quantum zone thing. I thought at first they were gonna play out that maybe time didn't pass there, but I guess it still did.
What if he goes deeper in and he finds out that his first wife or his second wife is in there, and he gets her back and it's Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Ooh. Aw, if he had moved on with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and then Janet comes back and he's like torn.
And then what's her name? Janet Van Dyne is like, she's like, what? You got married? Yes.
I mean, it's been like how many years?
Yeah, but you never told me. It's like, yeah, she got lost in the quantum realm too.
It happens to all of them.
He's just losing wives. He's like the Black Widow of Marvel. Like he's just inviting like hot science chicks into the like and getting them trapped in there, thinking he's never gonna see them again.
All of the world's most attractive like scientist women go missing whenever they go on dates with them.
Get lost in the quantum realm.
Let's see. Originally, Mighty Geek Studio says about the Phantom, it was originally Bengala was in Asia, not Africa. Is that true?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that, what was it, because his arch nemesis is that, it's on there, what's his name, Singh what?
Let me grab him. Kabai Singh.
Kabai Singh, yeah. And so...
He kind of looks like a sheik or something.
Yeah, I think they're like pirates. So here's the suit for the villain. It's like Dr. Evil in the Captain Action, I guess, mythos, can become villains. So he can become Captain Terror, Ming the Merciless.
Ooh. So Captain Action turns to the good guys, Dr. Evil turns to the bad guys.
Right. And so, excuse me. I think they were like pirates or something. And they were probably like poachers or something. And so the Phantom would fight them. I always liked that timeline where it's like it was the era of adventure.
Yes.
You know, it's like taming the world, going to all these exotic locations.
Things could still be explored.
Yeah, like the King Kong time, you know.
It's an interesting, I don't know, if they were to remake something with the Phantom, would you prefer to see him during that time or during a contemporary time?
Oh, that time.
And that goes for the chat too.
Yeah, I just think that they've tried several times to bring him into a contemporary setting, and I don't think it works. I mean, you can do it, but I don't think it's as cool. I think that kind of backdrop is better, and it seems harder to believe now that like Western culture wouldn't be, it would be more prevalent in a contemporary story than it would be in like a 30s story, like when this was actually made, like 30s, 40s.
Because he's like a stranger in a strange land kind of thing too.
Yeah. And I always like the ghost who walks. Like, if you guys don't know, there's a lineage, of phantoms. So the mantle gets passed on from generation to generation. So they're like a family of like firefighters or a family of like cops, where it's generational. So to the native people and the people that live in the area, they since they can't see his face and everything, and it's hidden, they don't really know one phantom from the other.
He's like a weird immortal to them.
So it's exactly, he's like immortal. And so since they feel he can never die, then that's why he's the ghost that walks. So he just kind of seems to just keep going and never stop. And I always thought that was cool. And also the Phantom isn't really an angst-driven character. It's not like he like hates his job. It's not like his parents were killed. Like every generation of Phantom, you know, either they retire or they die in battle. So, you know, there's a lot of kind of sadness and stuff in that family lineage.
But honor.
Yeah, but they don't look at it that way. It's not all doom and gloom and angsty. And I always like characters like that. Like they're doing it because there's a need. They see a need and they fill the need to help people. And I always like that. You know, I like the angsty kind of, you know, character that loses his parents and all that other stuff too. But I thought this was kind of neat where he's not solely motivated by those things.
It's a tragic backstory without him being an angsty character, which there's a big difference between a character having a tragic backstory and being angsty.
Yeah, it's not his sole motivation. His motivation isn't to avenge the death of his father or his mother or any of those type of things, which, like I said, I like those stories, but I think what makes this character kind of unique is that he isn't motivated that way. He
has purpose, for sure, that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Much like Black.
Exactly. Black has a tragic backstory.
What?
I mean, you can't read about it yet, but... Or does he?
I don't think he does. I think you misspoke.
Spoiler alert. Find out in the next... Let's see. That cover is so great. Who is the character? If you were talking about... Let me get back with this fancy...
Get back, Loretta.
This one. Get back, Loretta. Is that what he says?
Yeah, in the Beatles song.
If you're talking about this one, this is Captain Action.
That is the man. The original Man of Action.
If you're talking about this one, that's Captain Action of the Phantom.
And if you're talking about this one, it's solely...
Then that's just the Phantom fighting these beasties.
They just said, do something. That's all. That's their description. Like, do something Phantom-like. So I went back to my Frank Frazetta on that. If you
Ooh,
notice,
yeah.
There's some Frank Frazetta in the background and stuff. So
definitely.
Yeah, I kind of went Frazetti.
Ooh.
I had an art teacher that called him Frazetti.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Frank Frazetti.
I don't know why, but that's very funny.
Frank Frazetti.
That's very funny to me. I have this Frank Frazetta book that I found at like a garage sale or something, and I'm like, I've never seen this book before. It must be rare. It's like a small hardcover. I would bring it in, but this story doesn't end well. And it was in plastic, and I'm like, this is so cool. Surely it's rare and worth money. I took it home and opened it. It's literally just like, not even a price guide. It's like a bibliography of stuff he's written in or like worked on. So it's just a list of stuff that he's worked on extensively.
Was it like a price guide or just like for collectors?
I think it's just for collectors.
Wow.
But it's like,
you know what? That thing might... Do you still have it?
I do. I can bring it in.
Yeah, that thing might be worth some money.
Because it's like a little hardcover. It looks pretty cool.
I wonder if it's like an auction catalog or...
I don't know. I just thought it was really weird because I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a little sketchbook. And I opened it and it was just like a bunch of dates and stuff on it. Let's see. Beowulf asks, how long is the in-demand store for Black and White going to be open for? I'm trying to back as many books possible, but I have to juggle funds. It is going to be open till we go to print.
So probably for another month or so, at least.
Yeah. Let's see. So it'll be there, but don't wait too long. Let's see.
Thanks for asking, and thanks for considering even purchasing it. I appreciate that.
Yes.
It's a good book. It is a labor of love indeed. And I find myself more and more less willing to take or cut any corners. Not that my career has been based on cutting corners, but...
If you guys look at, I believe it's 2 updates ago, there's kind of an example of the level of remastering we started doing when we first kind of put the project out there, and then the level of remastering that we have been doing. And you'll see that we've gotten way more ambitious, I think, than we imagined at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason that the book is slightly delayed. But as you can see, we're working on it. And it's kind of cool with the channel because you're kind of watching a constant behind the scenes of how this book is being made. Nunya Business says, Superman was the first, but DC didn't exist then.
It was National Periodical, right?
I believe so.
But that is pretty much DC. It's kind of like Timely and Marvel.
It just kind of evolved.
Yeah, it's like the same company.
Beowulf says, growing up in a small town in Australia, The Phantom is one of the few comic books I had regular access to. I need to see if I can find my old copies.
I love The Phantom, and if I ever got the opportunity to write The Phantom, I think it would be kind of a dream come true. When I was a kid, I loved the character. The strips, the syndicated comic strips were really awesome, and I just always liked... He's got... Is it a dog or is it a wolf? Like, I think it's a wolf.
It looked like a wolf in the one image we saw.
I always hesitate saying a wolf just because, like, do they have wolves in Africa? Are they?
Now, in the Jungle Book, there are wolves.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was very bizarre as a child because I didn't know that wolves and bears, like, I always think woods, not like jungle.
Exactly. Yeah. I always, because whenever you go, like, African safaris, there's never really, like, a bear hanging out with a rhino.
Look, some deer.
Yeah.
Those wolves hanging out with tigers.
I'm showing my ignorance right now.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was weird as a kid when I saw the Jungle Book. I don't know if well, okay. Is the Phantom set in Africa or is it set in India? Because someone said originally it was set in India, and the Jungle Book set in India.
Yeah, so
but
maybe.
Now I think it's set in Africa. Let's see. Oh, Muttman says, could you give a shout out for Tales from Beyond the Gate? It's funding now on Indiegogo.
Oh yeah, you just did.
And we did a whole video, I think that was 2 videos ago? We did, if you guys want to check out a tour.
Been the last video, actually.
No, Kiss Corners,
Kiss
definitely.
Corner was the last, yeah.
And by the way, go back and watch Kiss Corner, you guys. We're,
It's a hoot. You get to see, actually, the real Paul Stanley set, his hair gets caught on fire.
We were the first to cover it.
Yeah, and some people say it's not the real Paul Stanley, and I say, what are you thinking?
You know what? Go to this Kiss Corner video when you get a chance. Let us know in the comments if you think it's the real Paul Stanley or not.
Well, it's Taylor. You said that like it wasn't.
Well, there's doubters, but we got to make sure the people know.
We have to win them over.
Go back, watch the footage. And don't forget to drop a like in there. Let's see. Rhaegar says, it's not Johnny Storm Human Torch because wasn't he a robot?
Well, I don't think it was originally, but yeah, it was. It's not. Yeah,
Johnny came later.
Johnny Storm and an original Human Torch are 2 totally different characters.
I don't know much about the original Human Torch, to be honest.
I just remember he had a sidekick named Toro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there was a little kid that got caught on fire too.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Because it's horrible.
Toro?
Yeah, his name was Toro.
The bull?
No, the little kid that caught on fire.
I know, but...
Toro the bull.
Well, because that's
There's
what
a
it means
bull
in
named
Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Toro is the word for bull.
So
Torches...
when they say Toro, they're just saying bull?
Yeah. Toro,
Wow,
Toro, bull.
That seems not that cool.
Yeah, I know. Well, look at the song Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, it just says the same thing over and over again. and then it has the translation.
Which means the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's a trend. Nunya Business says, yes, Torch is a robot. His sidekick might have been too. A little boy robot.
Were they originally robots, though?
I don't know. I'm going to look that up after this.
I know they were later in the Marvel Universe stuff, but like the original Human Torch and Toro, I don't know if they were robots. If they were, that's kind of cool.
And strange, but it sounds about right for the time. D. Geekart says, I thought Dr. Occult was the first DC character from 1935.
Well, that would predate Superman, right? Did we say Superman was 30?
Yeah, 30. But not the Phantom.
The Phantom was 36, I think.
Let's see. And Doc Savage came out in 1933.
Ooh, cool. I did the last DC version of Doc Savage. I did it with, I was inking Howard. What's his name? Oh my gosh.
Chaykin.
No, his last name's Howard.
Howard. Oh my gosh.
Something Howard. Howard Johnson. Howard Jones.
The very same. The Shadow was introduced in 1933 by Action Comics, says D. Geekart.
The Shadow was DC Comics? The Shadow.
I thought the
It
Shadow...
was radio.
I thought the Shadow was like his own whatever.
The Shadow was radio. The Shadow knows.
That he has that crazy laugh. I can't replicate it, so I'm not going to try. But, T.R. French says, well, he could also find Hank's Russian wife that got killed before Janet. That could be Catherine Zeta-Jones in the flashback.
And all women can do Russian accents.
It's true.
It is true.
Privyet. A Catherine Zeta-Jones doing a Russian accent would be entertaining to me.
Would it be adorably hot?
It would. Spicy. She's Welsh.
So what? She's also an actress.
I guess that's a valid point. That's like whenever they talk about representation, like a deaf person should play this deaf character. It's like they're actors. They're not anything that they're playing.
Hello, actor.
You think you could play someone from England being from Canada?
Actor.
Beowulf says, not a comic book, but there is a 1930s novel called Gladiator, which is one of the first characters to use a serum to gain superpowers.
Ooh.
Interesting. But did he have whited out eyes like the Phantom?
Well, also, you should read Lee Falk's biography.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
What else he created. You guys might not know the other characters that Lee Falk was responsible for.
That's a good call. Let me pull that up right now. Okay, Lee Falk. Let's see. Movies and TV. He did a lot more stuff for TV than I expected. I'm going to pull up his Wikipedia. So, Falk was, let's see, how do they... Ooh, apparently his last name was Gross. Born Leon Harrison Gross.
That's close to your last name.
It is.
He could be related.
I hope so. He created The Phantom and Mandrake the Magician.
Yes.
At the height of their popularity, these strips attracted over 100 million readers every day.
Every day, 100 million readers.
Can you imagine? Falk also wrote short stories, and he contributed to a series of pulp novels about the Phantom. He started off as a playwright, director, and producer, and he directed actors such as Marlon Brando, Charlton Heston, Paul Newman, Chico Marx, and Ethel Waters. Let's see.
Chico Marx? Is that Chico? Wait.
Chico and the Man.
No, it's one of the Marx brothers. There's Harpo. Oh my gosh, what are all of them? There's Harpo, Chico, and what's the silent one? Harpo.
Oh, Groucho.
Groucho, Harpo. But there's also one that doesn't. He doesn't have a character. He's just like himself.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's like the older brother or something like that. He just
Groucho, Chico, Marco, and Dave.
And yeah, it's just like Dave. Dave Marx.
He worked on, before we get started this thing, Defenders of the Earth, which was a cartoon which I think had the Phantom and a couple other characters. He did Phantom 2040, which was a future set Phantom.
Wait, he wrote that?
I guess so.
That was a cartoon, right?
He's credited on it. I don't know. They say that he's credited on it, but I don't know if it's because he created the Phantom.
Oh, okay.
The Year '01 is something that he wrote. And let's get into his stuff here. LA Times, somebody did a write-up on him. So, he was born in Louis, Missouri. Spent his boyhood and his youth there. Let's see what he got. He was raised Jewish. Let's see. He began his comic strip and comic book drawing and career. Wikipedia, that's not written very well. His official biography claimed that he was an experienced world traveler who had studied with Eastern mystics. In fact, Falk had simply made it up in order to seem more like the right kind of person to be writing about globe-trotting heroes like Mandrake the Magician and the Phantom. His trip to New York City to pitch Mandrake the Magician for publication...
You know what? Okay, let's just back up. You know CB from Marvel?
Yes!
Like, okay...
Oh!
At least this guy made up something really cool as a backstory, right?
He didn't pretend to be Japanese.
Yeah, just to, like... like, that's way cooler than just, like, I'm Japanese, so I could write Japanese comics.
I mean, it makes more sense, or at least it seems a lot cooler to be like, yeah, I'm like a globe-trotting adventurer than, like, I'm a whole different nationality and human being.
Yeah, just to try to legitimize that, you know... I can write, like, manga comics.
We're not forgetting CB. Or should I say Matsuda-sama?
Or should I say jerk off?
Or should I say traitor? Anyway. Let's see. He made it up. His trip to New York City to pitch Mandrake the Magician for publication by the King Features Syndicate.
That's it.
That sounds cool, by the way. King Features Syndicate. I like the word syndicate. Was at the time the farthest he had ever traveled from home.
Oh, that's funny and sad.
In later life, however, he became an experienced world traveler for real. At least partly. He said to avoid the embarrassment of having his bluff inadvertently called by genuine travelers wanting to swap anecdotes. So he later started traveling the world so that he made the joke, the lie real. During World War II, Falk also...
What is that saying? I'm sorry, that you BS until you can actually become what you're BSing about?
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yes, exactly.
During World War II, Falk also worked as a chief of propaganda for the new radio station KMOX at St. Louis, where he became the leader of the Radio Foreign Language Division of the Office of War Information. That's pretty cool.
It's not bad.
Lee Falk was married 3 times. I don't know if
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Once to Catherine Zeta-Jones. Once
to Michelle Pfeiffer.
And lastly to Scarlett Johansson, who he remained married to.
Who he remained faithful to. Until he died in 2016.
Well, his like long-term wife was Elizabeth Moxley. And apparently she was a respected stage director. And not long before he decided to depict the marriage of the Phantom to the character of his longtime girlfriend, he ended up depicting it to her. Aw, that's weird. Elizabeth also sometimes...
I think you meant cool.
I mean, how did his girlfriend feel midway when she's like, why is this character suddenly not look like me and have the name Elizabeth? Like, we're just friends. Oh, okay. She even finished his last Phantom story after he died. Aww. Elizabeth helped him with his scripts in his later years, and she finished his last script. Falk became the father to 3 children, Valerie, Diane, and Conley. Interesting.
Oh, Conley.
He lived until 1999. He lived the last years of his life in New York. In a New York apartment with a panoramic view of the New York City skyline in Central Park.
When you think about
nice
the
job.
Distribution of syndicated newspapers, those guys were stars. I mean, remember that documentary we saw on Charles Schultz?
That's right, yes. I forget what that was called, but I wish I could recommend it, because that's one of the best ones I've seen.
His thankless kids.
Oh, his kids were jerks, you guys. but the documentary's cool, because they show, like, his house and, like, a lot of his like his old interviews and stuff. But yeah, man, his son, that line will always stick with me, where he talked about they showed what did he do? He got like an award for like best dad or something. I don't know what it was. He was in some special, and his son was basically like he was a big geek. Like I don't know what the buzz was about. Like, he was such a thankless jerk.
And then wasn't he like he was never there. He was always there, but we couldn't talk to him. Once his door was closed, we couldn't go in.
Yeah, because he worked from home, but they have to have the rule since he's working from home. Don't go into his studio while he's working.
It's like, well, it's the equivalence of like if he had to drive somewhere.
Well, if he drove, they would have respected him because they would have been like, he went into work every day.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't understand this job as a profession.
He came back so tired day in and day out.
Yeah, this is like, well, he was home all day.
It was drawing. It was easy for him.
Yeah, he was home all day just doing whatever.
He's messing around.
Fooling around at home.
Yeah, they were kind of jerks about it. This is kind of sad, but I wanted to read it because I think it's also kind of cool. Because he was writing the comic until like his last breath. Because it says when he would dictate.
You're talking about Charles Schultz now?
No, Falk.
Okay, good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Falk, before he died, he spent his last days in Cape Cod. And he wrote his comics till the last day of his life because when he was in the hospital, he would take off his oxygen mask just to dictate the stories to the new writers.
That's a lot like Charles Schultz, right? Like he wrote the very last.
Yes.
And didn't he?
So sad.
He knew he was dying or whatever, right? So there's like this whole farewell, right, in the comic strip.
Yeah, he basically did. I don't think I've ever read the final script or the final strip, but yeah, like he basically gave like a farewell, and it's at the end of that.
He kicks the ball, right?
Yeah, he kicks the football finally, I think.
Yeah.
And then he says like, "Oh, it's so sad," in like his final interview, like he was just like, I wish I could just keep writing more. Like he didn't want to stop. It's very moving.
The life of a cartoonist.
Pretty cool. So yeah, Falk was a cartoonist, and then I guess his second passion was stage plays. And
that's mine as well.
I mean,
as long as it's a stage play of Kiss Love Gun.
Yes, that would be amazing. His awards include the Yellow Kid Award, Roman Lifetime Award, Adamson Award, Golden Adamson, National Cartoonist Society. He has a lot of awards, you guys. And apparently he got a congratulations letter from Bill Clinton with his best wishes when the movie came out. Because I guess Bill Clinton was a big Phantom fan.
You know what? Let's all slam evil right now.
Slam evil.
Wasn't that the tagline for the movie?
Yes, it was. Was that the original tagline for the Phantom? Because that sounds very...
Oh, I don't think so.
That'd be hilarious.
That's such a Hollywood thing, right? Slam evil.
It's also very 90s. Let's see. Like, share, and subscribe to Kiss. Rock on, says Nunya Business. Thank you.
Hey, Nunya Business. What's up?
And Mighty Geek Studio says, the Singh brothers were pirates. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody in chat is saying we got period piece, and someone says it's got to be the old times. You can't do pirates properly in modern times.
Yeah, I just think the whole adventure backdrop with, more of a primitive Africa or India or wherever the story, is going to take place. I think it's cooler.
I agree. Jam Create says Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World. Things like that are so cool to me.
Yeah.
It's a neat setting. Let's see. They could maybe do a future Phantom, kind of done an Old Man Logan style. That'd be sad though.
Well, they did who was it? It wasn't HBO. It was like Sci-Fi or something. Tried to redo it, and so the Phantom had long been gone, and so it's kind of like Tron, where there's this lineage, and this kid's kind of like a thug. He's like a hacker, and so he doesn't know anything about his lineage, and so this organization come after him and recruit him and say like the legend or the history that there's this Phantom and that you need to be like you're chosen, it's your bloodline or whatever.
Wait, is this your idea or something that happened?
No, this is that show. This is the contemporary version. They, like I said, they tried to do this with that show.
Okay.
It was like maybe 5 years ago or something like that. And so they recruit the kid, and of course he doesn't want to. He's not going to come quietly. He's like, screw you guys, whatever. And then so that he finds out, they show him like the costume. It's kind of like the Billy Zane outfit. And so he's like, you want me to dress in that? And they're like, yeah, that's the suit of whatever. And so he's like, no way. You know, because he's too cool for it, right?
Why do they always do that?
He's a contemporary kid.
In the early 2000s, that was always like a beat.
Yeah, he's too cool for it. So he's like, screw dad or screw my great-great-grandfather or whatever. And so he puts on like a football helmet on and a purple jacket, right?
This is way cooler.
Right? And then so instead of riding a horse, he rides a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Like so that's how they update it. Like, oh, this is way cooler than, you know, the purple outfit and
this is a step up for sure.
Riding a white stallion or whatever, you know, with a wolf sidekick. Yeah, this is way better. So yeah, it was really really bad. And so they kept in with the lineage kind of idea, so at least that was good. But
it's weird though, because they kept the lineage idea, but then they didn't really keep him thematically like the Phantom at all. Like it's not like with a motorcycle and stuff. Like,
yeah, I guess they figured, you know, he has to slam contemporary evil, so you know it can't have. See, that's the thing where it just gets lost, and the problem then becomes there's characters that are far cooler than him in a contemporary way. That are already doing stuff in that theme anyway. Right. So then you're just basically turning that character into, you know, another character that already exists. So
yeah, you're killing the uniqueness that made him the Phantom anyway.
Right. So that's why I don't like those, oh, let's update the character. Because it's not, I don't think it's as cool. And I don't think you have to update those characters to keep them cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think a period piece, Hollywood does it all the time, where they'll, you know, have something, a period piece. Just tell the story as a period piece.
Yeah, embrace what's cool about them. Let's see. Beowulf says, Red Rooster is a legacy character too, passing the mantle down through the ages. I did not know that.
And that's exactly why I really like that story.
I can't wait to get Red Rooster.
They have those rings. They have like those signet rings.
Oh, what's it called? The Order of the Dawn?
Yeah, the Order of the Rooster or something. Or is it Dawn?
I think it's the Order of the Dawn.
Yeah.
But it's like a rooster, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I love all that stuff, like secret society stuff, but even like secret like superhero society and things like that. Yeah, I love all that stuff.
Nunya Business says, if Marvel gets the Phantom license, they'll turn him into a teenage genius girl.
Yeah. Well, probably. Like the thing
like
is,
every character.
Yeah, like this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they do. What is it? Dynamite does the Green Hornet, right? So they're like, oh, we're gonna use Kevin Smith's, you know, Green Hornet like movie script or whatever. And so then it's like, oh, Kato's a chick.
I liked the sexy Kato though.
Yeah, but
her hat was built into her cowl.
Well, I'm just gonna say this, okay? All right. Black and white is a derivative of the Green Hornet and Kato. It is. Like I'll wear it on my sleeve. That's what these. You know, he's got the you know, the gun. I'm not going to get into the details of the gun, but
you're going to love it.
It's kind of like the Green Hornet's, you know, gun. And so then... But cooler. Way cooler. And, you know, and then she's kind of, you know, she's the martial artist, you know, kick-ass, you know, Asian type character. And so that's where that came from, but they're not... It's not like I changed the Green Hornet to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't like, is when they change the character to be basically another character.
Something we talk about in the studio a lot is like, I guess the principle is...
Keep talking, I have to use the
Okay, the principle, I guess, is that, let's just say, if you pitch a story and you're like, I have a great idea for a Flash story, and then your idea is, but it's not Barry Allen... and it's a teenage girl that does underwater stuff. I would argue that you don't have an idea for a Flash story. If your idea requires changing every fundamental rule about the character, I think you have an idea for a story, but it's not an idea for a Flash story, per se. Let's see. I'm going to save this question for when Art gets back. The Phantom has a pet wolf named Devil. Devil the wolf. Yeah, there's, when we were looking at all the Phantom stuff, there's a picture from the serial. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I still have it up here. And you can see, that's Billy Zane. Slam Evil. There it is. I'm assuming that's Devil right there. From the old serial stuff. Let's see. Shere Khan was such an awesome villain. From the Jungle Book?
Shere Khan?
Here's a good question, Art, now that you're back.
Alright.
Does seeing people getting their copies of Jawbreakers and Lone Star get you excited to get your own book out?
Oh! Hell yeah! Are you kidding? Like, I wish I could ship this to you guys right now. I mean, I'm having the time of my life doing this book, putting this together for you guys. But yeah, I would love it if you guys could read it and look at it right now. How do you feel about that, Taylor?
Definitely, and I'm excited to get my copy of Jawbreakers and Lone Star. We should bring them in once they arrive and do an unboxing.
Yes, let's do a vicious review.
If only we could do an unboxing of our own book. That would be pretty weird. We wrap it all intricately and then take a video unwrapping it.
Even worse, we send it to ourselves.
It's finally here.
We're all eagerly like, yes.
Be funny. I should take a video of my grandma unboxing Black and White and see how she reacts to it.
Well, we were talking about lineage characters, right?
Yes.
So what did you guys have to say about that?
Somebody was saying, they mentioned that the wolf's name is Devil.
Oh, that's right!
And, yeah, Phantom has a pet wolf named Devil.
Yes, that's so cool.
And let's see. Nick says, a page-for-page remaster is practically a new book, especially with all you have been adding, in with the new designs and layouts. I'm stoked to get it. Plus, seeing it be made is a huge bonus. Thank you, Nick.
It pretty much is.
It is a whole new book, you guys.
Yeah. It's a whole new book.
Canine or chaser is not really something you can do in the jungle. Yeah, that's why it seems weird that they wouldn't. I don't think there are wolves in the jungle. Jam says African wild dogs are probably the closest thing you'd find to a wolf in Africa.
That's what I was thinking. I was almost said like a wild dog, but
they're different.
That dog is. I think they call it a white wolf or something like his dog.
I showed him while you were away at the picture, and I think he is like a white wolf. It was set later in Africa. Rhaegar says it was set in Wakanda. That'd be kind of a cool crossover, actually. The Phantom and Black Panther.
Well, the Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic would just destroy the Phantom.
Yeah, well, because he's
with his adamantium, or what is it?
Vibranium.
His vibranium woven suit.
Hey, Curtis Wyndham is here.
Hey, Curtis Wyndham.
We got to get him back in for Boomin' Out Loud at some point.
Boomin' Out Loud with Curtis Wyndham.
Curtis is Art's friend. He's known since childhood. And if you go back in our archive, there's a Boomin' Out Loud where you guys tell an old story from your childhood about
forts, building forts.
It's pretty awesome. Definitely go rewatch
well, even
that.
you built a fort when you were a kid, right?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Or you tore them down.
I only destroyed them. Durakan says, Zatanna. Zatanna's father is as old as Superman, premiering in the same issue. Really?
The same first Superman issue?
I did not know that. I think we should validate that one. And Rhaegar says something even more horrible. I always liked Scarlett Johansson's Russian accent. There was no Russian accent. She spoke Russian for like 20 seconds.
Oh,
they should have used it more.
You guys don't ever bring up like Scarlett Johansson and Russian around Taylor. She'll just go off.
It's a colossal disappointment. Um, let's see. Draken says the Shadow may have been first printed as a comic by DC, but he's a pulp hero who originates in books.
Yeah, comic strips actually. Syndicated. That's the King Features was a syndicated newspaper strip.
Pretty cool.
I'm not sure, but I think even like the Peanuts and all those things were all. It was like a union. Like comic strips had a union, I believe, and I think that's what like all that King Features and stuff was.
And Art's right, you guys. Those guys like ruled New York at that time.
They were celebrities.
Like they made a very comfortable living, which is pretty crazy to think about how grand scale they were. Curtis says, "How did you meet Taylor? She's the best." Aw. I think we've told this tale many a time.
Yeah, she had her thumb out on the side of the road.
And I never left.
She was hitchhiking. She needed a place to crash.
Pamela took me in.
She was a stray. No, go ahead, Tom.
I didn't have a microchip, so I stayed.
So they couldn't track me?
I answered...
You were in the witness relocation program?
Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now I gotta change my name again.
Alright, I can no longer work here. It's been nice knowing you.
Back to Mexico. I answered an ad at a local comic book store called Comic Madness. I almost wasn't going to give them a shout out because they were jerks last time I was there. You guys better be nicer to me.
You know what? They're a necessary evil, though, aren't they?
They wouldn't show me where the magic order was, so I just left.
They're the only comic shop in the area.
I mean, there's one in Claremont that I like, but it's further away. And I was like, I'll drop by the old store that connected me and Art. And I was like, I remember why I don't come here anymore. It's because they ignore me.
I remember I asked that guy, like, where's the whatever? And he just pointed.
They're not friendly.
There's a bunch of boxes over there. Like, it's just in that general area.
You want back issues, go ahead and dig through these boxes because we won't help you.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was, I don't want to trash talk them too much, but it's funny. I asked them, I was like, where's the magic order? And the guy was like, what? And I was like, the magic order. He thought I was talking about a physical place. I was like, no, the book. Because he's like, I don't know. And I think he said you can look on Google Maps. I was like, no, the book. And he's like, oh. And he's like, I don't know, in the M section. So he just walked me to like a section that was not the M section because there was like an Oracle book there. But anyway. D Geek Arc says Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo.
Zeppo!
Chico was the silent one.
No, that was Harpo.
I thought I don't know.
Harpo played the harp. He never talked.
Ah. Darakan says apparently the oldest superhero is Spring Heel.
I'm sorry, I had a joke. Like, just call me Inko. I'm one of the Marx brothers.
He's the one that, inks.
I'm Inko. Sorry.
Groucho, Harpo, Chico, Zeppo, and Inko.
And Inko.
That should be our mascot's name.
Inko!
Aww.
Do we have a mascot?
Well, we talked about, like, we want to do a contest or something where it'd be like a little, like, Inkwell guy.
Oh, that's right. Inko.
He'd be like the little Hack Shack mascot.
Well, there you go.
Inko Hacky.
Inko Hack.
That sounds like a real actor's name.
It's Inko Hacky. He's from Zimbabwe. I just wanted to say Zimbabwe.
Let's see. Oh, people are reciting the tale. Art posted a flyer in a comic shop and Taylor inquired. You guys remembered. Superman's creators tried selling Superman to newspapers and got rejected over and over again.
Yeah, because they knew that's where the money was.
I don't blame them. You guys are awesome, and I enjoy listening to your live streams while producing my metal comic. Heavy Saga Planet Metal, says Skull Diamond 94.
Anything with the name metal in it, I'm all about it.
That's a good name, Skull Diamond. Rhaegar says, Slam Evil sounds very douchey.
Taylor's gonna say something, but...
I'm not the only one, I guess. I was gonna say something else, but... Rhaegar says, we need a new Phantom movie, but please, no Johnny Depp or Armie Hammer as the Phantom.
Oh my gosh, they butchered that too! Another childhood love. The Lone Ranger?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, if you guys go back and listen to, it's a couple of videos back, and it's where we were talking about the casting of Bruce Wayne / Batman. Art had a weird prophetic moment, and I forget how you said it, but you were like, we were talking about people who could play Clark Kent, and you said, oh, that kid from Harry Potter, the guy from Twilight, and he actually might play Clark Kent. He's actually in the running.
I heard him from... Wait, which one?
The guy from Twilight, I forget his name.
Oh, I thought he was up for Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Oh my gosh, I keep saying Clark Kent. I meant Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Oh god, he'd be a horrible Clark Kent.
He'd be a horrible Batman.
I mean, Bruce Wayne already would be.
Well, at least they're going... Well, he's probably in his 30s now, or late 20s, right?
What the heck is his name? I can't remember.
Nathan Fillion.
No. Nathan Fillion as Bruce Wayne would be very funny, though.
Tom Holland.
No!
He's my go-to. Johnny Depp.
Oh gosh. He was, no. I can't remember his stupid name.
What's that one guy's name?
Apparently I couldn't remember Batman's
the
name.
Pineapple Express guy.
Oh, James Franco?
James Franco.
No.
James Franco.
I cannot remember.
I don't want to see James Franco ever again. unless he's,
you guys don't hang out anymore.
Unless he's a dope smoker and like that's his character.
Like in real life.
I never buy him as anything other than that.
I gotta find this guy's name. I'm sorry, it's driving me crazy. Christian Bale comes up. No, he really did play Bruce Wayne. We're not talking the right demographic for that stupid Twilight actor. But that's been going around and people are absolutely horrified by it.
Oh, I know his name. Team Edward.
Robert Pattinson. That's his name. I guess he's about the right age, but it sounds absolutely terrible. Rhaegar says, Shuri will be the Phantom. From, Black Panther. The grandson of Billy Zane must play the Phantom, says Mighty Geek Studios.
The lineage. He's a legacy.
Durakan says, if you want to do an older Phantom, what I'd do is make it so he's getting really old and he can't find someone to pass down the mantle to. For some reason, and it becomes a story about failed legacy. That's so sad.
Batman Beyond.
But imagine if Batman had failed to find someone to continue on.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the premise, but that's not how it ends. He eventually finds somebody, Taylor.
Or does he? He said it'd be a story about failed legacy.
Is that what he said? Then what would the point of the story even be?
See, you couldn't even bear it.
I couldn't comprehend it.
Because it'd be so sad.
Sad.
He just dies at the end. While the song Hurt being performed by Johnny Cash plays.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this now.
I hurt myself. He's just digging his own grave.
Aww.
His dog just dies at the same... You know, like
no.
they say sometimes your dog will die with you or whatever.
Devil goes down.
Devil just lays down in the grave with him.
That's so sad. Let's do it.
In the skull cave.
Ooh, do they have a skull cave?
You don't know this?
No.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, their hangout is a skull cave.
Durakan says, White Wolf, privileged dog. Oh, here's another thing we're going to talk about, Art. Rhaegar says, guys, Alita, go see it. It's amazing. We were talking about that this morning because there's nothing but good buzz about it, actually.
Hey, Taylor. Okay, we're just going to do this live. Should we just, we're broke, by the way, you guys. Should we just dig down deep and just do, a live kind of Alita, go to the movies?
We could.
I know Amanda wants to see it, too.
We'd have to do a review right after, because Harkins has horrible, internet connection. Otherwise, it's just we live stream going in there and then come out and live stream talking about it.
We'll do it at that Taco Bell over there.
Ooh, we should. That'd be hilarious. We do want to see it. I know that we talked a lot of smack, but...
I still stand by my smack, but
Ooh.
I also said this is my qualification on these things, is sometimes these bad designs you can rise above the bad designs with character and story. So I've seen many times where I've seen it like a still of a character design or like makeup effects or whatever, and just go, that's horrible. That is gonna, I cannot watch that for 2 hours. And then somehow, it just translates beyond it, and it ends up working. So if the character's strong enough and the story is compelling, I might be able to look past the Gollum eyes, for 2 hours. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard.
Here's the thing. People have been saying that the story's good, but I've still heard people talking crap about those eyes. Because a YouTuber whose opinion I usually respect was talking about how they were really distracting. Because he said that there's moments where, spoiler alert, she cries. And he's like, when she cries, it's really quietly disturbing looking because those giant eyes and like the fake tears. And he was like, it really like distracts from the moments that they're happening from. And he says it feels like James Cameron just being like, look at my effects, like he was with Avatar.
Yeah.
Like, look what I can do, everyone. Actors are irrelevant. Everybody was shouting at me, Robert Pattinson. Rhaegar says, Taylor, if you only have 2 choices for a Phantom remake, and one was M. Night Shyamalan and one was James Wan, which would you pick? Alright, which one would you pick?
Oh, gosh.
M. Night Shyamalan or James Wan?
You know what I'd like, if I could qualify it? I would like a first draft by M. Night.
Oh, no.
Because he always there's usually one solid idea, right, that he's able to bring forth. So if there was like a interesting premise that he could come up with, and then have James Wan just kind of, you know what I mean, like
execute it.
Yeah, work it through.
So written by M. Night, first draft, directed by James Wan.
But I mean, James Wan would have to rewrite it, but like the first draft would be kind of, or a
collaboration,
an outline by him.
I think I'd want the opposite. I think I'd want James Wan to write it and then M. Night Shyamalan to direct it.
So you like M. Night's directing?
No, but that's why it would be great. Because, like... because...
Okay, I'm listening.
Because some of the... Okay, this is the thing. It has to walk the line because M. Night Shyamalan, when he consciously... some of his movies are so bad that they're amazing, and other of his movies, like The Visit, are just really bad. So, like, if James Wan could write, like, a good-ish script, I feel like he'd have enough to work with where his weirdness would shine better than if M. Night wrote it. Because M. Night's, a lot of his flaws are in his writing. His directing's weird, but his writing can be straight up bad.
I know, but there's usually like one kind of nutty outside the box idea, and that's what I would be looking at. You know what I mean? Like I'd be looking for that one nutty idea that somehow that M. Night would bring to the table, which would be totally different than anything else that you would, the Phantom, it's been around since, what did we say, 80 or 36?
Holy crap.
So there's probably been every story imaginable. So I would like to see what that guy could come up with based on, all those years of history and with his nutty imagination.
Ooh, Durakan just schooled us with a Wikipedia article saying that Zatara did in fact appear in the first Superman comic.
Well, I'm not buying it just the same way I didn't buy the whole, everybody's like, hey, that's not Paul Stanley getting his hair on fire, but...
And look where we are. Paul Stanley with his hair on fire.
There you go. So, I'm sorry, Durakan, you're still wrong.
You edited that wiki article, didn't you, Durakan? Title says, I guess talking about our meeting, this could start a series called The Myths of Taylor. That would be depressing.
The myths or the
myths?
Okay.
Let's see. I may have to add Taylor.
So we could just like be bringing up like false
stories
and just making our own mythology
about my days in the witness protection program.
Oh, okay. Is that what he's
I think so.
Okay.
Mighty Geek, I might have to add Taylor to my cast of heroes known as The Order. I can't believe you guys aren't making fun of me for not saying getting the Batman name wrong.
She wants you guys to pick on her right now.
The Shadow debuted in Prose and Detective Story magazine. Gosh, you guys know so much about the Phantom. Sorry. Is Daniel Radcliffe being cast for Superman? Says Rhaegar.
According to Taylor, he is.
That would be hilarious.
Oh no, it's Robert Pattinson.
It was Robert Pattinson I kept mixing up.
What if we get those two guys together again for a Lone Ranger and...
No! Wait, which plays which?
I don't know.
Robert Pattinson as Tonto and Daniel Radcliffe as the Lone Ranger. You're a ranger, Harry. I'm a what?
Both of those guys look like little kids. They got big heads and stuff. Like, neither one of them can play a hero.
Imagine, just picture Daniel Radcliffe wearing that domino mask, and it's the funniest thing on earth.
Okay, did you guys ever see... Oh my god. Why? Why does this keep happening in Hollywood? I hate you. I hate you. The WB did a series. It was called The Lone Ranger, right? Okay, and I thought, like, okay, the WB isn't necessarily my taste, but I never... It wasn't my demographics either, right? It was like they were going for younger people, right? So they would get these old iconic heroes like Superman and like they did the Superboy series, or they resurrected Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So they thought they would try to resurrect the Lone Ranger, right? And so they got that One Tree Hill kid. What was
Chad Michael Murray?
Murray, I think. And that kid's okay. All right,
you have to draw it.
Okay, here's like a hero's chest, right? From the profile, there's his rib cage. Here's his chest, right? Here's his clavicle. You know, here's his neck, right? Shoulders.
Might have to move it down a tad.
Okay.
There we go.
So there's the basic. Okay, his chest went this way.
He has a very large dent in his chest. It's true.
Like, it was concave. And so, of course, they're trying to get the little girlies all hot, like, so they have, you know...
he was a pretty boy.
What's his name? His name's something Reed. What is the Lone Ranger's name?
Oh my gosh.
Something Reed. Because it's Britt Reed is the Green Hornet. So their lineage is connected. So I think he's his great-grandfather is the Lone Ranger. Britt Reed's... Gosh, what is his first name? But anyway, you know, they were trying to get, you know, like a cool shot of not Britt Reed, or whatever his name's, Reed, by a campfire or something without his shirt.
Wow, I just saw, by the way, I was trying to look up the name for you, and Armie Hammer, his character is credited in the movie just as the Lone Ranger. They never say his name in the current movie.
They do say his name in the movie, I thought.
That's what he's just credited as the Lone Ranger in the new movie.
Man, they didn't go that far with it. Yeah, so anyway, it was really bad, and Hollywood made another bad, I think, Lone Ranger movie before Disney did that recent one, and I don't know, how hard is it to make that movie cool? He's a Lone Ranger, man, like his whole Ranger battalion, or...
All I can find is Ranger Reed, but...
They were all slaughtered, you know, and so he's the last of them. He's the Lone Ranger.
Kimosabe.
Yeah, so he puts the star on, and then he basically becomes like the first vigilante. You know, he's a cop. I'm not a cop tonight, Raj. And he puts his
badge
star in the drawer.
Did you just quit?
And then he goes after, oh gosh, what is his name? Butch Cavendish or whatever his name is. Yeah, and then, you know, Tonto kind of helps him along. And I used to like in the TV show where he would do these disguises, Taylor. He would like I'm Prospect Bill, and he put a beard on, and he had that hat with the flap. You know how they flap the flap, you know. It would go up like the...
If Armie Hammer did that, the movie would be amazing.
It's like, I'm Prospect Bill. I stake my claim.
Did he still wear the mask?
No. He would go undercover, and he would kind of like infiltrate the bad guys or whatever. And so he would, because also
So he is kind of like the Green Hornet.
Yeah, so he would have to always hide his identity. So when he wasn't, I don't think you ever saw him on the TV show, Taylor, without his mask. So you only saw him, if he didn't have his mask on, he had a disguise.
So you never really saw just him.
Right, you never knew what that actor really looked like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, whatever. And so, like, the reason I like it and the reason I think it could work today is because these things are so outside of our wheelhouse. Like, these things are so, like, we can't relate to it. Like, this is the Wild West, and they would do stuff like this, Taylor. Like the premise would be, you see these two groups of miners, right? And so there's these like two brothers, and they moved out west to make their fortune, like trying to find gold, right? The gold rush. And then there's these two questionable guys who've been out there for like a decade, right? But these two young guys, they're like from New York City, they're city folk, right?
They're new.
They're newbies, and they're out there. And so they have their claim, they're doing their thing, and then these other veteran guys are doing it, but they're very questionable, they're jaded, right? So then they're at these two young guys, they find a vein of gold, right? They're like, oh man, this is cool. And so then they take it into the claims department in the city, right, in the town. And then, of course, the two other guys, the bad guys,
jealous.
They were boozing it up at the saloon. They're all jaded. It's like, we're never going to find any gold, blah, 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 right? And so then they hear these two guys talking about it. And so they're like, oh, gosh, whatever. But just to back up, the Lone Ranger kind of talked to those young guys. And so he gives them like the head. So he has like a history with them now. So he and Tonto kind of roll up on him and is like, yeah, well, you got to be careful out here and blah, blah, blah. And, make sure that you document your claim and blah, blah, blah.
Helps him out.
Stuff. Yeah, he tries to help him out. And so then when he comes back around, anyways, those guys overheard this guy. And so then the claims guy or whatever with the gold, he's like, yep, sure enough, this is solid gold, man. He's like, oh man, we're in it. We found a vein like a mile long, like whatever. So, they basically say the whole plot, right?
The ultimate stakes.
Yeah, and so then those guys are like, we could get rid of those brothers and nobody know, because guess what?
We don't have any family out here. We came from New York.
Right, yeah, exactly. There's no one will know. And so those guys go out and, I think, they beat the one brother up, and I'm not sure if they kill the other one or if they hold him hostage or there's something like that. So basically, Tonto and the Lone Ranger come back around and they don't see those guys. There's something that's like out of,
They never checked in at the whatever.
Yeah, and so then they like, oh, there's something wrong, and so then they find out that those two other miners kidnapped him, so they have to get them back and all that other stuff. So, but it's just neat, the dynamic of like, this is early justice. This is early kind of lawlessness and how a vigilante, like say Batman or
they have a place,
or Daredevil, like have a place in that Western kind of environment. And I always thought that was cool. But Hollywood never ever. Well, they did in the TV show, but like the movies never really get into those aspects, like how cool that kind of is, and that
it feels something that was a problem during that time in a way.
Right, and how outclassed those sheriffs and that type of justice was. Could you imagine, like, you're a sheriff, you might have one deputy.
Man.
And then you have like,
let's go roll up on this gang that probably has like 15 people in it.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have these hooligans like come into town and you're like, well, okay, we're gonna have to swear some men in.
Well, not everything has to be grand scale either, because like a lot of those westerns aren't grand scale. It's not like the fate of the entire valley. It's like this guy that's like he's an honest farmer, just got screwed over, we're gonna help him out kind of thing. And I'm a sucker for like stories where it's kind of like superhero stories, but told from the point of view of like the common folk experiencing like a superhero's action. Like you said, like the two brothers experiencing the Lone Ranger, and it's like, yeah, this is one of the Lone Ranger's adventures. He does this for a bunch of people.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. And so then, you know, he leaves them with the silver bullet so that they always remember, you know, that's like his legacy, his legend, you know. And so when somebody tells the story, like, hey, there was this Lone Ranger cannon, and like, that's BS. It's like, yeah, but I got a silver bullet, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that was the proof.
He's a bad shut your mouth. You don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Rhaegar says, Art, prepare to be surprised by Alita. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics hate it, but the audience gave it a fresh rating.
I know. It's like, I think the critics were like 50, like under 50%, and the movie going, they're like 93 or 97 or something like
They're
that.
way into it. He said, it's so weird what different people see in movies. Her eyes didn't really bother me at all. Somebody brought this up, and I can't stop thinking about it, that Jennifer Connelly's character in the movie, in the anime and in the manga, also has gigantic eyes.
Jennifer Connelly?
She's in the movie.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, she's like the science chick, right?
No, she's another one of the mech people.
Oh, really?
And, like, her character, I believe, her character in the, like, manga and anime, they showed us side by side, has those gigantic eyes. And, like, it's really weird. Like, obviously everybody in the manga and anime does. It's just really weird that Alita herself has them only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's the only one. It's really strange.
Well, they say because she's a robot, or they justify it that way. Like,
but so is Jennifer Connelly's character.
Right.
Because everybody was pointing that out, like how weird it was. And they're like, well, they wouldn't mess with her face because she's a marketable actress.
Yeah.
Please no Avatar 2. And Nick says every draft is his first draft about Shyamalan.
Yeah. There's some things that could have been ironed out in signs, I'm just saying. The water would have been one of them.
Yeah, and oh gosh, I almost spoiled something in Glass, but I don't know.
Did you see it?
No, but part of the ending's really bad. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's really weird. Art is rejecting our reality and substituting his own, says Title. And D Geek Art asks, Taylor, are you on social media anywhere I can follow you? Yes, but the best place is probably this channel because I'm here every day. Rhaegar says, come on, it would be great, guys. You can call the team movie Young Justice, and there would be Danny as Bats, Robbie Pattinson as Superman, lots of years on the books. Jake Busey can be Martin Manhunter.
Jake.
Remember the horrific legend of the Lone Ranger movie from the 80s?
That's the one I was thinking, yes.
HBO ran that pile of poop forever. HBO ran that?
They were hard up for entertainment.
Ew, gosh. You know it would be an interesting casting, says Draken. Leonardo DiCaprio as Dr. Hugo Strange. I kind of like that, actually. Draken, let's see. Arethulu, as a kid, I always wanted the Lone Ranger to be a werewolf hunter, too. He already had the silver bullets. Did they ever do a story like that?
They could get into it, yeah.
I don't know if he did supernatural stuff. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. I love that movie.
Who doesn't?
Rhaegar says, Jennifer Connelly has aged very gracefully. She has. And Rhaegar says, Signs was so bad. Yeah. I don't really have much I can defend that movie with. TBH.
How do you think that guy still gets work?
He's
got dirt on everybody in Hollywood. Like,
I think because, well, I know now, like, he was kind of riding after getting like good credit for that. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie. Swing Away, says Durakin. Yes. Split got him some clout again.
And then he screwed it up with
Glass, yeah. The Visit, he was trying to, like, it's so obnoxious. He was trying to capitalize on people thinking he was so bad he was good But when M. Night tries to consciously be bad, it's really terrible versus unintentionally being good.
What was the movie where everybody loses their mind and starts
Happening?
Trying to kill themselves? That movie is so weird.
It's so funny though. They have the best line in that movie. Remember when he's talking to Zooey Deschanel and he's mad at her because she reveals that she didn't answer the phone.
This is Marky Mark?
Yeah, Marky Mark's mad at Zooey Deschanel because at the and she's like a robot anyway, so she's like extra robot-y in that movie. But she lied to him because she didn't want to answer the phone because she was having dinner with coworkers. And she's like, I lied to you. I wasn't at work. I was having dinner with my coworkers. And he's like, how could you lie to me about that? And then he reveals this weird story where he says like, it's this weird, it's like a long monologue and it's pitched like it's supposed to be interesting, but it's the most bizarre thing. Like, I don't know how you would write it and like pitch it to someone. Because he tells this story about like, I was at the pharmacy the other day and there was a really attractive like teller there. And I picked up some cough syrup, but I didn't have a cough. And I thought I was going to go up and buy it just so I could talk to her. I almost did it. I almost bought superfluous cough syrup. He says superfluous cough syrup. And then she's like, did you do it? And he goes, no, I didn't buy it. I was like, what is the point of this story?
I cheated on you.
By thinking about buying cough syrup.
I had impure thoughts.
Like, if somebody told me that, I'd be like, are you okay? Like, what is this?
Would you just laugh at him?
Superfluous cough syrup. It's pretty hilarious.
It'd be funny in their relationship. That's how they gauge, like the worst atrocity known to man. What? You bought cough syrup?
You didn't even need it?
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
Ray Thulu says, Marky Mark is always unintentionally hilarious. He is.
You know what? Thank you. If he's going to be in a movie, you know it's going to be bad.
Especially when they try to make him seem like he's going to be cool. Like, I don't know if he can be unironically cool. If you're looking at Unbreakable /Split/Glass, then you could argue that to fix Shyamalan is just give him a universe where the story just keeps going, so he never gets that terrible twist at the end.
It's weird because the twist used to be his big draw, and now it's like, no, we don't want the twist.
Yeah,
no
because
twist, please.
He never came up with a good twist after oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie, The Sixth Sense.
You see dead people?
Yeah. He never eclipsed that. It just kept getting worse. Doesn't work that he has it in all of his movies, says Durakin. He doesn't have it in the first two movies, probably because it wasn't the end of the story. His first two movies were... Was Unbreakable and The Sixth Sense his first movies? Because they both had good twists in them.
Yeah, there wasn't really a twist in Unbreakable, was there?
Yes, because remember Mr. Glass revealed that he had been orchestrating those accidents the whole time. Remember, because he reveals to him, like, I always thought if there was someone
reveal,
like
but
me.
I was thinking like a twist, like, what? Is a reveal the same as a twist?
I guess not, now that I think about it.
I don't know.
Because, like, it's not really a twist.
It's just, yeah, it's a reveal.
I always wanted Samuel Jackson to deliver that final line a different way. Because he's like, I should have known. Because the kids, they called me Mr. Glass. And it gets real quiet, but I wish he would have been like, 'cause my bones break! Like, after that long pause. That would be the best ending. The Village also has a good twist. Rhaegar, you are wrong. The Village twist is one of the worst ones.
The Village twist is like, yeah, it's not real, right?
Yes! It's like watching a monster movie and then midway they go, don't worry, it's not real. I'm just wearing a mask. Like, it kills all the momentum. And then the guy that's like handicapped or not mentally all there is running around the woods dressed up as a monster, but he's somehow able to make like monster roaring noises as he runs through the woods. And then someone says, it is the worst twist. It was. I think it might be his worst of all of his movies.
The weird thing is I'm still kind of thinking, oh, M. Night's the guy, right? And then the reviews and the twist came out of that village, and I was like, there's no way you're getting my money.
The ultimate twist is that M. Night's a bad director, like, in his life. Because it's like The Sixth Sense was so good, but the twist is that he's a terrible director. Unbreakable and Split have twists, but they don't have a second twist that he has in both of his movies. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, you're right. I think that Unbreakable is more of a reveal than anything, that he was behind it the whole time. Because there's not really any misdirects about it.
The twist would be that he really... that Bruce Willis really is that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
That he really had powers.
They really had powers all that time.
I think, yeah. I mean...
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's not that strong. I don't know. Now that we're saying it. Nick says the twist in the Village is worse than The Last Airbender and suck. I agree.
Last Airbender is like a non-movie. Like, I don't even like thematically. I don't even understand that movie. Gosh, how do you?
It's so bad.
How do you get something so wrong based on a series done so right? Like, all the source material is there. It's like it boggles my mind the same way that the Green Lantern movie boggled my mind. How do you do this? It's like I said years before, like, Marvel started, making these movies. I started saying, you know what? Iron Man and the Green Lantern, one for Marvel, one for DC, are the best. Like, if you were going to launch a big, like, film franchise,
cinematic universe,
or have a character that's the most believable, like, where the general public can get into it.
Yes,
those would be the characters.
Normies would love it.
Yeah, because one, it's like people get into, like, alien stuff, like they just do, like, X-Files and stuff, like, oh, it's an alien invasion. They can kind of get into that. So that's one of those things that they don't have to be prodded into believing. Supernatural's another one of them. And then the other is like tech. Like, oh, he built this thing. He built a robot suit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So then I thought, too, they had these kind of thematic, like, movie ideas where one is like, he's a heartless guy that builds weapons of mass destruction, right? Well, that's thematically, it's playing upon the, the whole Wizard of Oz, the guy, the Tin Man with the heart and all that stuff. So people, general public would understand that. They would get that. They would know that. I'm talking about non-comic book people. And so then Green Lantern is kind of the same thing, where it's alien. So the biggest problem with most people is, how do you take a vigilante idea, like, say, Batman? Okay, his parents were killed. He's out for revenge. They can relate to that. Yeah. But he dresses like a bat.
And that's the weird element.
That's the weird element, right? That's where most people go, okay, I'm out. I'm checking out.
Separates the geeks from the normies.
Right. And so then, like with Green Lantern, the alien power comes with the suit. You know what I mean? So then the suit gets explained with the alien, power. So I always thought that those things would do the best. And then, Warner Brothers releases that movie, and you're like, how do you screw up the Green Lantern? You know what I mean? It's the Aladdin story. It's a guy that finds, a lamp and is able to have 3 wishes, and uses it to fight crime.
Draken says, but Batman isn't out for revenge. That's true, but his whole motive of defending the city is based on that tragedy not happening again. Not necessarily to him, but to other people.
Yeah, but that's not even the point. The point is just that he becomes a vigilante, but he doesn't just become a vigilante. He puts on a bat suit. That's the point. Nick says the CGI suit is how.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, you know what? It was all bad. I'm not defending the movie. I'm just saying that they're...
As a pitch, it's one of the better ones, I think.
Yeah, as an idea, a big screen cinematic idea, it actually works the best. It works, like Superman works if you could work the costume into it. Like, he's an alien come down here, and then he becomes basically a Jesus, a God type figure, you know, that he can save mankind or help them along or whatever. And so, you know, those ideas work better, I think, than, you know, a guy, a millionaire. Like, he's a millionaire too. Like, he's got all this money. He could throw money at the problem, but he chooses to put a bat suit on. I'm not saying I don't like it, because I do. I think it's cool. But I'm just saying from a general audience.
I agree. It's also, Green Lantern is grand scale in a way that I think is more digestible than a lot of other grand scale superhero stuff, if that makes sense.
It's an alien invasion, basically. It's an alien. It's like an alien encounter, like Close Encounters, you know, or like E.T. You know, people buy those ideas, you know, of like an alien coming to Earth, and, you know, they're already on board with those ideas, so it's not as much of a stretch as, I think, as like, even as more grounded, you know, as Batman as a human is, I think it's harder for people to relate to.
I agree. I don't know. Green Lantern is he's a cool character that's been done wrong many a time.
Yeah.
Let me scroll up and see what you guys are talking about. Split. Someone asking for my social media.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Social Security.
No. Title is quoting Stewart from Mad TV saying, "Look what I can do." Nuddle ends are happy. Matt Damon could play the Clockmaster. I think Matt Damon's career is...
What was he just in?
I'm trying to think
some
of
nutty movie.
What is what is he doing these days? It's nothing but down since the Bourne trilogy.
God, those are so good. I love those Bourne movies.
Good spy stories. Let's see. If they got JJ to do his lens flare in green, you would think it would work practical for a Green Lantern suit. And Green Lantern has a cool costume too, in the comics. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that they tried to whited his eyes out, and they kind of left like there's a little bit of a pupil there.
I hated the pupil though. It looked so Hot Topic.
Oh, did it?
Because his
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, because his pupil was so black.
The pupil was like milky. It was kind of whitish. It wasn't black.
It was black. I stand by this. His pupil was black and his iris was milky.
Oh, was it?
It was bad. Yes. Stupid Ryan Reynolds.
I just remember that, was it Gil Kane and even Neil Adams, at times they would draw, like it wasn't always there, but sometimes when they wanted to humanize the guy, they drew the the actual eyeballs in there, the pupils.
So you could see in detail more expressive stuff. Draken says...
It humanizes the character.
Draken says, Green Lantern is a failed pilot who becomes a space cop and finds the same corruption in his mentor that exists in Earth's police force. It's so easy. Yeah, you would think.
Exactly. It's so relatable. How do you screw that up?
Yeah, it seemingly is an easy thing to pitch that normies would like and that people into superheroes would be into as well.
Well, most people think aliens are like, if you ask them, they're like, oh, it's kind of arrogant to think that we're the only ones in the universe that exist. So I think aliens are pretty much, most people believe in them.
What do you think, chat? Do you believe in aliens? Let us know in those comments. We do read the comments after the video is not live anymore, and if you're watching this on the second airing, on the not live version, let us know if you think aliens are real.
Aliens are people too.
I kind of believe in them.
I don't. But then again, I don't believe in much of anything.
Aww.
The only thing I believe in is my ink and black and white.
J.J. Abrams and Shyamalan could team up to make a movie that has the worst ending ever. says Durakin.
Okay, what would be your biggest complaint, Taylor, with J.J. Abrams?
I don't know. A lot of people really don't like J.J. Abrams, and I don't have that much against him, to be honest. He's kind of, I don't know, a lot of people say that his endings are lackluster and stuff, and I want to say that that's fair, but at the same time, the only examples I really have to go to are the Star Trek movies, and I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I can't aptly really talk about whether those movies were like a letdown or not. You know what I mean?
Do they talk about that mostly based on his TV, you think? Like Lost and stuff like that?
I feel like it's followed him because of Lost, yeah, but I understand the situation with that a little more and working with TV stuff. I don't know. I don't have a lot against him, do you?
No. The only thing is, I think him and his camp, but maybe it's a good thing. Their stuff is really, really contrived. Like,
yeah, I can agree with
really
that.
It's really based on stuff that has come before. Because, like, if you think about Transformers, not that Abrams directed that, but the Abrams camp, those two guys, I forget their names now, and they wrote most of the Lost and things like that. It's basically ID4, right? It's
pretty much, yeah.
It's structurally almost identical with, like Transformers characters plugged in. And so
yeah, it really is.
A lot of their stuff, like even like if you go, well, JJ did, Phantom, what was it? What was it? Force Awakens. And it's basically a remake of, a Star Wars film, the first Star Wars film.
Yeah, I have to agree that he's not incredibly unique. And
then when he did the Star Trek stuff, he turned Star Trek into Star Wars.
Completely. There's actually somebody who did, I don't know who, or I'd give them a shout out. Somebody on YouTube did like a shot-for-shot comparison, like talking about just the basic story and everything and showing the elements shot-for-shot. Have you seen that?
No, but I've heard things like that. They also take shot-by-shot from some of the Indiana Jones stuff, right?
Yeah. They do a lot of comparisons. It might have been Red Letter Media.
Yeah, he's a big Spielberg fan as well as Lucas, so he wears a lot of those influences on his sleeve, and so does that whole camp. What is it, Damon Lindelof and Loft?
All them bad robot boys.
Yeah, the bad robot boys.
Rhaegar says, and actually you're touching upon the thing I hate about Ancient Aliens. Humans couldn't have built the Empire State Building. It's aliens. Like,
I love that show, by the
way.
My
like it.
daughter and I watch it all
I like it, but I grow to hate it. Like, when you think about a lot of those, like, scientists, in quotes, have, like, no faith in humanity whatsoever. It's just like
we couldn't have done it.
Like we've done amazing things.
Yeah, man isn't clever enough to have come up with those things.
It drives me crazy because, like, we've built insane things, but they give us no credit for, like, ancient things at all.
Well, do you realize we built contraptions that can fly? Like,
but there's no way we could carve a rock in a circle.
Right. We've had rocket ships go to the moon. Like, oh no. We can't.
Is the Sphinx out of our reach? I would argue not.
Yeah, there's no way they could have done that.
We're talking into a magical device that's being projected to other people around the world.
Yeah, or actually be able to, I don't know, cure disease.
We could, like, map the human genome, but apparently we can't cut a perfect cube. It doesn't make any sense. The Bourne franchise is shaky cam done right.
Oh yeah. I can find no fault with that. And all I could think of is when I was watching those, it's like, oh my gosh. This is before the Captain America movie came out. I was like, oh man, can you imagine Captain America done this way? And then, what was it? What's the one before Winter Soldier? And then they turned that into a thriller, and then you're like, oh man, that's what they did.
Winter Soldier is still one of my favorite of the Marvel movies.
It's so good.
It's really good. Ray Through says Leonard Nimoy's narrated In Search Of was more scientifically realistic than Ancient Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
I've never actually watched that.
In Search Of the Sasquatch.
Seth MacFarlane's The Orville is better than Trek, anything JJ did. I haven't watched that yet, but a lot of people who are really into Star Trek enjoy that greatly, I know.
If Kurt's still listening, he gave all those. He downloaded them for me.
That's right.
Yeah, so I should. If I ever get a moment, yeah, I'll watch those things.
After Battle Angel Alita. I'm genuinely curious about that now.
Yeah. I love the comics so much. It probably is my favorite Japanese comic. I liked Akira, but that thing is I don't know. It's kind of hard to read. It doesn't really read very well. Just as far as trying to comprehend everything. And
Alita's definitely a more compelling story.
yeah, and it's kind of like she's just kind of this adventurer character like Conan or, one of these characters that just kind of wanders around and goes and gets herself into these adventures.
Reluctant hero type.
Yeah.
I love those stories. They always hold up. Let's see. Original Cosmos equals great. Tyson's Cosmos, utter offensive trash, needs to be forgotten. I don't know, because I've never seen the original Cosmos, I must admit. I'm not afraid to tell you. I'm seeing Alita again, says Rhaegar.
Yeah. I'll have to see it. I'll have to get that done. I'm going to put it on my to-do list.
We'll do a review at some point.
We got to see it first.
Whenever we just try to BS one.
That would be awesome.
It was good.
If we just read up on it.
I especially liked the part where
we just take somebody else's quotes directly.
I especially liked the part where Lita participated in a massive battle. Quoted, oh wait, never mind.
She is a robot with a heart.
I thought Christoph Waltz was excellent.
This is one of his top 10 performances, so says I.
Could there be a sequel? I'm not sure. Nick says Art knows his anime, unlike Uncle Ethan. Ooh.
That's a burn.
That is a burn. Speaking of burn, we should probably call this soon.
No.
But we're almost hitting the 2-hour mark, and many of you have been leaving us.
They're leaving us for Uncle E.
Before you leave, don't forget to drop a like. It helps the channel. If you must.
We need all the help we can get.
Trust me, YouTube isn't doing us any favors.
Please hit those like. We want to pay our way to go see Battle Angel Alita.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Send us a super chat so we can go see a movie.
We can get some popcorn.
That's a step too far.
Are we e-bagging at this point? I back up. We're doing fine.
We're just kidding.
It's all good.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding, guys. Jeez.
I'll bring the microwave popcorn in a bag.
We'll sneak some candy in. That's the best part
It
about
is.
being a kid, man.
Yes, a kid. Let's see. I'll never leave, like Taylor at Art's house, this title. I'm always here. Like I said, you can follow me on other social media, but the best place to find me really is here. I like Sagan's voice in Cosmos. It's iconic and soothing. Ooh, D. Geekart says, I drew Inko while watching. Tweet that to Art for sure.
Ooh, Inko!
I want to see Inko.
I wonder if he's got Groucho Marx glasses on.
Aw, the eyebrows.
Big eyebrows, yeah.
The nose. There are people now who know what Groucho Marx looks like who don't even know who he is. Like, there are children that would recognize his face. Isn't that weird to think about?
You know what I want to find out is, like those disguise glasses or whatever? You know those gag glasses that you can get? They have the big nose and the eyebrows on them?
That's basically his, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's where that came from initially. I wonder if that was kind of like a Groucho Marx kind of thing. Because he doesn't really look like that. He paints those eyebrows on and everything.
Oh, does he? I always wanted
Yeah.
to believe that was him.
No, it's. I think even the mustache, if I'm not mistaken, is painted on.
There's a character in the Italian comic Dylan Dog who looks exactly like Groucho Marx. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be him, but there's like a random character that looks exactly like him, like purposefully. That book is okay.
It's pretty iconic.
Let's see. I'll send it on Facebook Messenger, says D Geek Art, for sure. I did Grouch and we did face painting and basic training. It wasn't appreciated, says Title.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And awesome.
See if you can find, well, should we?
I tried to pull it up. If you sent it now, I don't see it. Because I was going to pull it up.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah, if you send it over, I'll definitely pull it out. Zeppo Marx wasn't much of a comedian, but he was an entrepreneur and inventor, says Nick W.
There was one that had the Italian accent, right?
Oh gosh, were they all Italian? What
was that Chico who wore the hat?
Chico.
He was like, hey, like he talked like this. He was like, there's no such a thing as a sanity clause. Like,
you sound like Caravaggio.
Yeah, little Caravaggio. Like there was one where they were talking about like contracts. I think his name is Chico and Groucho, and then the Groucho's like, well, we need a contract, and he's like, yes, we need an agreement. And it's like here's the contract, and he's like, the first party, the second party, whatever, and he's like, this is clause 1, this is clause whatever, and then that Chico, I don't remember the setup exactly, but he just goes, no, you cannot fool me, there's no such thing as a Santa Claus. Oh, that's what it was, Sanity Clause.
Sanity Clause.
You know, there's a Sandy Clause built into contracts. Yeah.
That's funny.
So it was a Sandy Clause, he goes, there's no such a thing as a Sanity Clause.
Right through this, I always assume Sicilian from Chico's appearance.
Yeah.
Sanity Claus.
Sanity Claus, and then there's like, there was one, it was like an aqueduct, it was like, there's like a viaduct, and he's like, no, what was it, viaduct? He goes like, viaduct, why not a chicken?
Nick W. says they were just Jewish boys from the Upper East Side.
Yeah, because it's like, viaduct, why not a chicken?
That's funny. Timeless.
I love that crap.
You can tell when you read Chrono and experience Caravaggio as a character. But
it's me, Caravaggio.
He'd be the hardest one to cast in a Chrono movie.
Yeah.
Just because of that. You'd have to find someone in that vein.
What would be awesome is if Danny DeVito was young enough and he could do a killer Italian accent.
Yes.
Because I think he would be the perfect Caravaggio.
Title says, I need a flash, not a fish, a flash.
Exactly. I know it's stupid, you guys. I know it.
No, it's not. It's not stupid.
I love it.
Wiki says the Marx Brothers were of French and German descent. This is so confusing. I don't know what's real. Art, do you think... Ooh. Mr. Hellstrom says, Art, do you think Jim Lee is happy with the product coming out of DC right now?
Well, it's a loaded question.
Tread lightly.
I don't really know. I don't know if it's that much of a concern, to be honest.
One thing you should be happy about is Super Sons, the last series we worked on. You can get Art's original artwork from Super Sons on the artbytbear.com website, which will be linked in the description.
I like how you go into it's like the announcer voice. It almost seems like you're reading it, but you're not. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Draken says...
That sounded like you were reading it too.
That was just chipper.
Thank you.
It is very good.
I think Jim Lee is very unhappy with all his money right now.
A rowdy ride through the world of comic book superheroes and the eyes of a child. Draken says, I think Jim Lee is happy with money.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's hurting too much.
I think he's personally very happy.
I think so too. He looks happy.
Yeah, he seems happy.
I hope he's eating enough.
He looks a little skinny. You might want to start, give him a hoagie sandwich. That boy needs a sandwich.
We gotta think of ourselves first. I want hoagies when we go to see Battle Angel Alita.
Do they have a sandwich shop over there?
No, but I could sneak some in.
You know what we could do? We could go eat at that
Subway?
That quiche place.
Ooh. Wait, quiche.
No, not quiche. What is it?
The French place.
Yeah, what is that?
The creperie.
Creperie, yes.
That would be delicious.
I hate quiche. No, quiche is okay. It's very cheesy.
I hate quiche.
It's very... Did you ever see there was a comedian that used to go, real men don't eat quiche? Well, I'd say real men that never had quiche don't eat quiche. The way my wife eats quiche.
Poke Fire just popped in and said, cool.
Quiche. She's like, sheesh. It rhymes with quiche.
Quiche, I'm on board.
I just like saying quiche.
There was quiche that it was frozen that they used to sell at Trader Joe's, and it was called Prelude to a Quiche. And I laughed every single time I saw it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very eggy.
Ew.
It's all egg. What do you mean?
I don't know why, it just sounded gross.
It's eggy?
Every quiche I've ever had is really bland.
My wife makes it. It's got cheese and shrimp and gosh, I forget what else. It's really good.
That sounds like real flavors as opposed to the prelude to a quiche. Mighty Geek says, Taylor, it's time for you to take your rightful place as Queen of the Barbarian comic book creators. Because I hate quiche. I don't understand the connection.
Wait a minute, you hate quiche?
I mean, I'm not really into it because I haven't had a good one. I just haven't experienced it.
Against like eggy?
No, the only ones I've had are those frozen ones, and they're always super bland.
Yeah. Well, I think most frozen food's kind of bland.
Yeah. I mean...
Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen bar.
That sounds like a good superhero name. Frozen bar.
Frozone. Speaking of Frozen... and Frozone... What is with, like, that chick from Frozen's powers now?
Elsa?
Yeah, like, Disney's running amok. Like, come on, just because you own some, like, superhero characters, it doesn't mean all your characters need to become superheroes.
If you guys haven't seen the Frozen 2 trailer opening with, like, an action-packed... We talked about this morning, I think you basically, like, nailed it on the head, like, that it's basically a reenactment of Moana, but with superpowers. Like, Elsa tries to run over a giant wave for some reason using Frozone powers. Like, she makes, like, an ice pathway.
Frozone powers activate.
Yeah, it was...
I don't know, it looks very serious, too.
It does. Somebody described it on Facebook as frozen but angry, and I think that's pretty apt for how the trailer looked.
Anger zone.
Just put mad eyebrows on all the characters.
Right into the anger zone.
Right into the anger zone. I can't watch another Frozen, says Nick W.
I don't know, man. That trailer looked pretty bad.
You can and you will.
And it's like, you can. I'll force you to.
Says Disney.
It doesn't even really seem like it has a story. Like, I couldn't even really tell what it was about. Do you think Elsa's trying to rescue her family, like the ones that died or like crashed in the boat or went down in the boat?
It's been like 20 years though. Well, I guess it hasn't been that long because aren't they? They're like youngish.
They look like that. I thought when the parents died, didn't they?
Oh
they
yeah.
look like that.
So it might have just been like
a year, maybe tops.
Yeah, but how would they even have any inkling that they're still alive? Oh, I guess that's in the story.
That's what the story would be about.
I guess that's how the plot would unfold.
I'm thinking that that one guy, what did they call him?
Christoph?
No, the guy that dances like a monkey and...
Oh, with the face of a monkey. Weaselton.
I think Weaselton redeems himself and gets a message through.
Ooh. He was just trying to tell them the whole time, but they wouldn't listen.
They wouldn't listen.
Maybe they shouldn't have assumed so much about him.
He's also the only one who truly had an honest response to that craziness.
She almost killed them.
Right, but she manifested ice powers.
Yeah, like his response was reasonable.
I thought, like, Come on, man. That's like how I would probably. Let's hunt her down. Let's kill her.
She ran away.
I know.
I mean...
I would be scared to death, man.
She didn't exactly prove herself to not be dangerous. I guess everybody just got over it because they're so afraid of her and she's their queen that they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, and nobody... She wasn't there to, like, stop and go, no, it's okay, really. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm safe. You know, like, I'm not harmful or whatever. I'm harmless.
Oh, man, we got Inko. You got
Inko?
I gotta download it real quick.
Inko.
He's amazing.
Whenever I draw something now, I'm gonna be channeling Inko.
I'm waiting for him to pop up in Photoshop.
Inko the man.
Here, wait, I'll show you guys. There he is.
Oh,
he's so
yes. Cute. He's got a mustache and he's got the Groucho Marx glasses.
He's holding his own cork.
Yeah, I like it. Now we got Inko, right?
Thanks, D Geek Art.
Yes, thank you so much. That's awesome. We're gonna put that all over the place. We should start each one of our live streams with Inko.
He's adorable.
He should go like radio.
Oh man, I should have went for that animation degree.
Inkyo. And then we gotta do, and then next we have to do Pinot.
Ooh, Nibbo.
Nibbo. Quillo.
Ooh, I like Quillo. That's cute.
Nibbo.
Ray Thulu says, make it interesting and have Elsa go power mad and become a Doctor Doom dictator. That would be cool.
I would watch that. That would be awesome.
And then Anna has to take her down. There's a rumor that Anna and Elsa are related to Tarzan. Yeah, the thing is, I've seen that everywhere, but if art is indeed right, and this movie involves them getting their parents, there's no way that could be, because Tarzan would be like a year old, if even that.
What I want to see is I want to see them rescue Tarzan and bring him back.
But, like, he already built a life. They're just going to ruin it.
Well, he's Lord of Greystone.
Ooh. Oh, man. He's going to take that throne from Elsa, and they're going to have to battle.
Battle Royale.
That would be cool. That's what they can call it. Thank you for Inko.
Yes, thank you so much. You just made my day.
Elsa has to be the villain. Yes.
Elsa was the villain, kind of in the first one.
I mean, they did scare her because they took her to those stupid trolls that were like, if you don't get your powers under control, people are going to kill you. So then she grew up with a complex. Like, probably not the best thing to tell a frightened child.
Yeah, it's already, frustrated with her powers. And
don't let your fear consume you or this horrible thing will happen.
I hope you don't kill your sister.
I mean, the first time I saw that movie, I could not stop laughing when she accidentally shot her sister in the head with that ice beam. Because she falls to the ground in such a comedic way.
Oh, jeez. Just for the record, Taylor also thought it was funny when Pinocchio was face down after one stroke.
He still has the donkey ears.
In the water.
Tarzan is the rightful lord of Greystoke, says Mighty Geek Studios.
Yes.
She has a super villain backstory. Yeah, she kind of does. They could just leave baby Tarzan. That's sad.
What if Elsa changes her name to Jane?
No! I don't like where this is going, but I am intrigued.
What if they get Johnny Depp to play Jane?
He already kind of is in real life.
Johnny Depp to play Jane.
It's me, Jane. Have you seen the video of him throwing a bottle at the woman that plays Mira?
You, Tarzan.
I can't unsee it.
Me, Jane.
He's all like buzzed out.
He's a horrible human being.
Yes, he is.
Can we just say it and just move on? Jeez.
Ooh.
There was no appropriation with that wacky
Tonto
character.
Yeah, because he the behind the scenes, he pretty much manipulated those poor people.
I'm 1/5 Blackfoot or whatever the hell. You know what? We did. My daughter just did one of those. What do they call those? History. You find out your lineage and
the DNA one.
Yeah, your DNA. Yeah. And so I think we all if you go back far enough, we all probably have Indian blood. I have Indian blood. We have Indian blood in our lineage.
I don't know. I'm half Mexican, so who knows what's going on there.
You have Incan blood.
I got Incan blood.
Ink in blood. Inko knows.
Ooh.
Backstory for Inko.
We're both mixed race.
Wait a minute, you're mixed race?
I'm half Hispanic.
Oh, gosh.
Nick says, didn't Depp hit her with his cell phone? Yes, he did.
Yes, what a jerk.
He's such a jerk. Every time I see her cute little face in that Aquaman thing, I think about that video.
You know what? She is so pretty. Why did they put that damn wig on her?
To cover the scar Johnny Depp probably put on her head from hitting her with a cell phone like a friggin' ape.
She still has a lump on her head.
Oh. She's like, maybe you shouldn't be drinking at like 9 o'clock. Starts throwing stuff at her.
Maybe her character would be Lumpo.
Oh. I still haven't seen Aquaman.
What?
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, I heard you. It's just like, what? How?
23andMe, I did an ancestry DNA and I have no Indian blood, says Rhaegar.
Well, then you're one of the few.
Raethulu is also mixed race. Yay! Shout it to the homies or whatever we do. We're both half Mexican.
Wait a minute, he's half Mexican?
He said me too.
Ooh.
I mean, we are in Southern California, so...
Raethulu's in Southern California?
I mean, we are, so most people probably...
Yeah, it's weird that I'm not.
That we know of. What did it say in the 23andMe?
I think I probably have some Incan and Hispanic blood, Spanish blood.
Ray says, I'm 13% Brit and 10% Scotch-Irish. Very European. People are telling me to drop what I'm everything and go see it now. I can't. I'm reading the chat with you guys.
Go see which movie?
Aquaman.
Yes, go see it right now.
Nick says, Aquaman is 3 movies in one. Imagine the Dark Knight trilogy in one film. Ooh, I don't know if I like that pitch.
I love it.
If you read The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, they put Hand Christian Andersen, which makes me laugh, but I think it was a typo. You would be afraid of Elsa. I would if they would have gone with that original story, but it's so different now that it's...
Yeah, it's like Elsa meets, Professor X.
Yeah, pretty much. Imagine if Alita fought Aquaman. I can't because I haven't seen either movie yet.
You know what would be great is like Elsa and Aquaman. Like Elsa just freezes the water and freezes Aquaman just dead in his tracks.
No.
It's like, there you go. Mission accomplished.
Did you see the picture? Somebody edited it and it's done really well where it's Ariel and she's like looking at that statue all lovingly of Derek or Eric, but they made it look like Jason Momoa. It totally looks like him. She's like, isn't he so handsome? It totally looks like him. He has a scar in the eyebrow. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Talking about Johnny Depp beating his precious girlfriend.
Is that still his girlfriend, or are they like...
I don't know if they're still together. I hope she escaped.
I bet you after she was whacked, she's like, I wish we would have been married so I could sue him for everything he's got. That would be the second woman that just took Johnny Depp for everything.
She's like, man, I'm putting up with this for really no reason. I want to get that Aquaman money. I'm out of here.
She's checking into a lawyer and he's like, what? I don't have any grounds for any of this money? So I took a cell phone for nothing?
She's like, they're telling her, like, we're going to have to dye your hair this vibrant red. And she's like, whatever, just do anything you have to so I can get out of here.
So I can hide that scar.
Octavia Spencer is going to be a serial killer in the new movie. Octavia Spencer is in Aquaman?
Octavia Spencer.
She's, I'm trying to think of something that she's been in that I can compare her to. She's the talented black actress that was in The Shape of Water, and she did the voice of the otter in Zootopia.
I don't remember that character in Aquaman.
Rhaegar says no. What movie are you talking about? I don't know which one she's been in. Oh, she is in a new movie called M.A. She's a serial killer. I am 100% sold on that as a concept. She's the most innocent looking, like sweet looking woman. She has like big expressive eyes. She kind of has like a little kid looking face.
You know, did you say the, what is it, of water? What is that?
The Shape of Water.
That's the one with Abe Sapien, right?
Pretty much.
The Creature of the Black Lagoon idea?
Yeah, but like
you know
romance.
Why? That, you know, on paper, I would not like that movie. You know what I mean? Like, I probably would never have seen that movie.
It's weirdly good.
But it's really good.
Yeah, the pitch is not strong. It sounds very weird.
And it's weird, like it's a period piece. I don't know, that movie has all kinds of weird elements to it, but they all really work well together.
Almost despite itself.
Right. Like, it almost seems like it's overly complicated. Like, let's throw a homosexual painter into it.
A neighbor, that's her best friend.
Yeah,
and the Cold War.
Yeah, let's throw the Cold War into it. Let's throw, you know, like an overly macho guy into it. Let's throw, you know what I mean?
A Russian spy.
Yeah, there's all kinds of like weird stuff all over that movie.
She knows an illustrator. It's like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on here.
He can't get work because he's gay.
They live above a movie theater.
He knows every film known to man.
It's a bizarre pitch.
Isn't her dad in the story too?
Wait a minute.
Or is that the guy that's the neighbor guy?
No, that's just the neighbor guy. Remember she was in an orphanage?
Oh, okay, that's right.
Rhaegar says, in California, you don't have to be married. You can get palimony. Just ask Clint Eastwood how much he had to cough up to Sandra Locke. Yeah, but that's for like common law marriage. So she would still have to be with him for
X
like,
amount of years,
I think it's 10 plus years is common. And you have to be living together. You have to be married and in the same residence. I know, because I'm almost in common law marriage myself.
She's already looking into suing her boyfriend.
I wouldn't make shit. There's no, like, you would never have to doubt.
Oh my gosh, I came out so quick and honest.
You would never have to doubt my motives.
That was funny.
Let's see. The Shape of Water, aka...
But he's a scamp, but I love him.
He's a scamp, but I love him. I can't afford to go to the movies.
Oh gosh.
Targaryen. Oh, what do you guys...
gotta get that book out.
You guys are gonna love this, though. And that's all that really matters.
And that's all that really matters.
I'll wait to rent Battle Angel Alita.
I'm probably gonna throw it. I think I'm gonna throw it money because I also heard that it feels kind of non-Hollywood-ish. I heard.
But it's James Cameron.
I know, but that's what they're saying.
He's tricking you.
There's this one guy. He's like, God, I forget his name now. Reviewer I listened to. And he's like, it's kind of on SJW Hollywood, and it's just very good. And because it goes, that's so weird that it seems like those were just how normal movies were before.
Not anymore.
But he's saying like it feels fresh because it doesn't kind of get into those kind of politics. It's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I do like the idea now that you bring it up of supporting projects that are kind of off the wall like that, because The Shape of Water kind of falls into that too. Yeah. Like supporting weirder movies, because Battle Angel Alita, even though it is like a James Cameron thing, it really isn't a typical Hollywood concept. So you are right about that.
Yeah, that's what this reviewer said. I don't know, because I know the comics, so I kind of know where the story is going to go, but other than that...
Oh no, none of your business is. Just remember, he's feminizing the Terminator this year. No.
Is he, or is the stupid...
I don't think it's him.
I don't think he has the rights to any of that stuff anymore.
Because that's not his property.
No, he sold it. So like those last couple Terminator movies, I don't think they had anything to do with him.
Don't put that evil on him. It's not his fault.
But we can, the Titanic and...
it's him, says the chat. Uh-oh.
That really preachy Avatar movie.
Oh, I'm trying to... You will make Sahelu.
I got caught up in Avatar fever. Catch it. But man, after seeing it the first time, or like, you know, getting over the spectacle, and then you just how heavy-handedly preachy that movie is, it's nuts. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's Avatar toes here.
Sorry if anybody here is a great fan of Avatar.
I didn't even think the design work was that great. I thought that those
Jake Sully
was weird. I mean, not even in a good way. Like, I like weird, but those were just really bad. That weird Sigourney Weaver Avatar,
it haunts my nightmares.
Weird, man. Exactly. Exactly. That's it. You know, if they wanted to design a horror type of monster, that would be how to do it, because it's
jarringly ugly,
but it's kind of subtly unnerving, right? It's like it's not overt.
Well, it's got that weird uncanny valley, because the face looks like it's like mo-capped. Yeah. So the face looks just like her face, but like pasted over. It looks really weird. It looks like a more high-tech version of, remember that Alice in Wonderland TV series where they put Whoopi Goldberg's face on that cat body?
Oh,
and it's just like,
God.
it's just like her face painted gray, superimposed on the cat body, smiling. It's like a high-tech version of that, which also frightened many a child.
At least with Alice in Wonderland, those characters are supposed to be slightly off-putting, right? But
yeah.
But not Jake Sully.
Not Jake Sully. You must make Sahelu. Choose your Akron.
Ikron.
He's Turok Moktau.
Oh my gosh. People are Hollywood's so weird.
We just need to do something that we need to make up a story where it requires us to make up dumb words.
Well, like, they're all like, oh, it's so deep. No, it's not.
Like the Native Americans, except not.
It's not deep at all. It's
They worship a spirit tree.
It's just not deep.
Everybody in the chat, Whoopi Goldberg as a cat? Yikes. Whoopi Goldberg? Yikes.
Yeah, yikes.
Dynamo says, you two would tell us if you got high before this podcast, right?
Yeah, we might be high right now.
High on life and your company.
High on inks.
High on, Inko.
Inko de Cinco.
We need to make Inko at least the ending credit.
Yeah, I want like a little, we gotta get a catchphrase for Inko too, because like, what is it?
The hacks are in.
Felix the cat has like,
radio!
And then he does that like wave thing. Like we should just have Inko, like, he should just, you know how they have that
old school movement?
That animation where they just kind of just do like that little hop thing with their legs and like
do that
little
Cuphead,
squat
yeah.
down. Yeah, like bum bum bum, and the music can go bum 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 bum, and then maybe he just kind of jumps real quick and like a little ink thing jumps out of his head.
and it makes the Hack Shack logo.
Yeah, then it makes the Hack Shack logo, and he's like, yeah, man. Or like, that's cool ink. Remember That's Good Soup?
That's good soup. It goes, aw, jeez.
Oh, we already have it built in. Was that Sierra Whiskey?
I just said that.
Well, because it usually just says, aw, jeez.
Yo, Ray Thulu says, Inko should say to Quillo, get in me.
Jump right in.
Inko, dip that nib.
You need some black ink.
Then it spells out Hack Shack.
Comics are cool.
And then we get demonetized because YouTube fears our power.
They'd be frightened.
Someone went to the dispensary this morning. Stop that. We're sober. No bully.
You know what? It's all legal. My glaucoma's acting up.
My anxiety.
Gosh, I could sure use a pet puppy and some pot brownies.
In that order. I was going to say a puppy brownie, but that didn't really...
A brown
work.
puppy?
Yes. Semi-illegal, says Nanya Business.
Damn, that's good ink.
That's good ink. And we get Sigourney Weaver to do the voice.
She just do it like, that's good ink.
That'd be hilarious.
She has like that really...
That sultry, serious voice. Ooh, do you think she's going to be in the new Ghostbusters?
She was in the last Ghostbusters.
Oh, man, she's got to be in the new one then.
It didn't make it any better, Taylor.
it made me even angrier because I was like, why isn't this just a normal Ghostbusters movie if they could have gotten all these people involved?
I just thought, like, if Ghostbusters, the new one with the girls, is going to tease that one girl, the best character in the movie,
the only character in the movie,
was lesbian, she should have macked out with that when Sigourney Weaver showed up.
Yeah, just deliver.
Yeah, just stop teasing people. Let's just...
have some balls, Hollywood.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, Sigourney Weaver just goes, like, she's like, that's really good work. And she's like, really? And she's like, yeah, I always thought you did good work.
And then music starts playing.
No, then she just hops on her, like, she just jumps on her and knocks her down.
That's the after the credit scene.
And then that's all you see. Like, you don't see, like, a bunch of affection. You just see...
It slowly pans over and Bill Murray is just standing there watching
with his notebook. Or his phone camera.
He died in that movie. I forgot.
Well, he comes back as a ghost and documents everything.
Oh, that's the way to bring it around.
Yeah, that's a totally better idea. Why doesn't Hollywood ask us these things?
They're going to.
They're going to soon. With Black and White, the Netflix series.
All I can say is if Netflix approved that terrible Umbrella Academy show, then we're in good shape for Black and White because our story's actually good.
Yeah, that's another versus, or we should just do it as Umbrella Academy versus Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. If anybody here has watched Doom Patrol. The only thing is, like, I'll never be able to actually watch Doom Patrol because it's on a whole other streaming service.
I'm sure we can bootleg it.
Probably.
Get Kurt in here.
Ray says, Hollywood will listen to your every word after Tank Heist is a smash blockbuster.
I think what you mean is on Golden Treads.
Coming here talking that trash. Doom Patrol looks good. It does, actually.
You know what? I'd say overall it has way more good than it has bad from what I saw. The trailer, or the extended trailer.
None of your businesses, don't worry, it's pretty bad. Well, thanks.
Don't worry your pretty little heads. It's horrible.
Enjoy. It's terrible.
You have nothing to look forward to except Battle Angel Alita. Or what is it?
Alita Battle Angel.
Like, Hollywood always has to rebrand things, right? They can never use...
Yeah, even if it just is like a dyslexic turnaround of the title, apparently. My pleasure, says none your business. Well, then it'll be in good company of Umbrella Academy, because that's a show not even fit for the CW. Did
you like the comic?
Full disclosure, I didn't really like the comic very much. When I first read the comic, I thought it had great potential. Like, I thought the initial plot had great potential, but I wasn't a big fan of the execution. But when I saw the show was coming out, I thought maybe in, like, the right hands with the same kind of pitch, it could be really good. But it was, like, all the worst aspects of the comic in a lot of ways. And sometimes worse.
I think it's kind of a hard live action pitch. Because there's a lot of really unusual, weird stuff in that.
There is, but I feel like, I don't know. The Netflix version of it, whoever's in charge of that, I don't think knows completely what to do with all of that weirdness. So they're aiming it in really bizarre directions. Rhaegar says Frog Cyber. And Wraithulu says Knuckle Bomb Battle Maiden.
White, black.
Is it better than Lost in Space?
Gosh.
I could never get into Lost in Space.
You talk about a bunch of money spent for no payoff. That show crashed and burned the pilot. The pilot crashed and burned. Like, it never got better. It just kept getting worse and worse. Like, what the...
It's like, why am I sticking around for this?
I know.
It's getting worse.
I just felt like I was so invested in it. But you know what? To be honest, I didn't watch the whole thing. I checked out.
Well, there comes a time, too, like, when you're, like, 3 episodes in, where you're like, do I just continue? Because it feels like wasted time if I stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A colonoscopy is more pleasant to watch than Lost in Space. And Rhaegar says Netflix just officially canceled Punisher and the terrible Jessica Jones. I hated the Jessica Jones show. Now on Netflix, Robotoad, says Nunya Business.
Robotoad.
I can describe... I really want you to watch the first episode of the Umbrella Academy art, but like, I can describe the problem with the writing in one instance. There's a character that can teleport, and he can teleport through time and space. But there's a scene where he teleports into a car to drive the car across town. And then he teleports from the place he was at to an apartment building. How would somebody write that and have it make it all the way through?
Yeah. And also the thing is, just as far as creating characters, I remember reading the Umbrella Academy. I can't remember any of it off the top of my head. But I remember initially liking it. But time travel characters like that, or characters, you know, like that can do that type of stuff, man, you have to severely limit those characters and what they can do and what they can't do, because they're very powerful. You know, and they can do a lot of different things. And I think you can get yourself into some major problems.
Yeah, definitely.
So your thing was just that, you know, bad writing, right? That they didn't catch the inconsistencies. Like, why didn't he just like bop through without the car, right? Why did he use the car and all that stuff? Yeah.
It's quite bizarre. And also, like, I was holding out through the pilot episode. I really want you to watch it because there's one instance I know you're going to pick up on where, like, I was like, this show is really boring for, like, the concept they're putting out there. It's really boring. And I was just thinking, like, well, maybe there's going to be, like, a cool action scene to get the normies on board. It was one of the worst action scenes I've seen in, like, years. Like, they slow down the action, but it's not even action that would be moving fast-paced in real time anyway.
Like Matrix type stuff.
So it feels like you're watching two actors just, like, starting to rehearse their fight. Like, doing slow punches and stuff. There's a guy that's in the show that I'm not even sure is an actor. Like, when I saw him, I was like, who is this? And I couldn't find any properties he had worked on. And it made me start to wonder if he was, like, dating one of the, like, lighting girls or something. I was like, who is this person? Like, his acting is atrocious. And Ellen Page, like, okay, Ellen Page is in it. Spoiler alert. And number one, she looks like she no longer cares about her appearance, which is perfectly fine. However, she also looks like she no longer cares about being an actor because her acting is really, really bad. They use a Lindsay Sterling song to open the episode, and she is clearly not playing the violin. And whoever, like, staged it doesn't even want you to believe she's playing that violin. Because, A, there's a part where the sound is completely off. And B, the sound mixing is so abysmal that there's, like, guitar riffs that go over the sound of her violin. And she's moving the violin as if she's playing a guitar. It is so horrible.
You'd think the music would be the thing that they would get right, since it's Gerard Way.
Oh my god, the music's probably one of the worst aspects of the show, actually.
That is bad.
I need you to watch this. Give me closure. He is the director's cousin, said Rhaegar. I would believe that. And Nick wants to know, are you guys excited about Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson?
I'm excited about Brie the cheese. I don't know. I don't. The more I hear about her, the less I really want to back that movie. I was kind of on the fence about it before, but now I almost feel like I need to not go see that movie just because I don't want her to get my money. She seems like a really horrible person.
Well, like, I was gonna say, can't we go to her charity? But she's making money off of that too.
Yeah, she did some fundraiser to get people, like, ticket money to go see her movie.
Yeah, but the money's going to her, so it's like...
Yeah, somehow the money will revert back to her. Yeah, exactly.
Rhaegar says Taylor's going off on Umbrella Academy. I could say more, but I want Art to watch it because I really want to hear his opinion on things.
And we're saving it for another show.
It's so bad. The normies love it, and it makes me hate them.
The normies love that Heroes. I couldn't stand that show.
Discount X-Men.
Yeah, I thought like, and I actually got angry too because when I found out that Jeff Loeb was working on that, I'm like, Jeff, you sold everybody out in comic books to do this. Like you just recreated all the X-Men characters, like that. I don't know. I didn't think that had any integrity to it.
I agree. It's so weird, like being. As if you know what X-Men is, you can never fully enjoy Heroes because all that happens, you're like, wow, that's like this character. That's like that character. That's like this story. Like every time you watch an episode.
Yeah, it's like, well, what if these two characters were one character?
It's pretty much, it's like watching a bad fanfic.
What if you combine Cyclops with the Beast?
Remember when they were going to like do a new season of it and then it just dropped off the face of the earth a couple years ago?
Thank goodness.
It like just kind of fell by the wayside. There's I'm not going to talk about Umbrella Academy anymore after this, but like the normies loved it so much, and there's a girl on Facebook that I kind of had like a friendship with, like we were kind of mostly Facebook friends, and she would not shut up about this show.
Which show?
About the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, Umbrella Academy.
She would not shut up about it last night. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance. And midway through watching it, I decided I kind of hate her now. I was like, how can her taste be so bad? And I was like, she must be super obnoxious. Like I had like a total judgment of her character based on how much she loved that show. And then I was reading her her thread, and the stuff that she was thrilled by was so embarrassing. Like she's like, this blew my mind that there's a character that's an ape. I was like, have you not been let out of your cage? Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you read a comic book, your brain would explode if this is how... It's so wild! They were superheroes! Like, it was the most normie thing I've ever read. I hope she hears this right now. He spells his name Jeff with a PH, says Dynamo. Indeed he does. Rhaegar says, I have no desire to watch Heroes.
Yeah, I thought it was... I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, wait a minute. This is not cool. And then as soon as I found out that Jeff Loeb was involved... I have nothing against Jeff Loeb, don't get me wrong. But my gosh, you could not be ripping off the X-Men anymore. Like, shouldn't just do the X-Men. Just get the rights to do the X-Men or something.
It's not like they're not accessible.
Well, it's just like from a career standpoint, like let's just say, okay, Jeff Loeb likes black and white. But guess what? Jeff Loeb doesn't want to pay for black and white.
You can just make up something else and steal all the ideas.
Right, I'll just take the ideas and I'll just make my own black and white. Like, what the hell, dude? It's not cool.
And then, like, it always makes the person calling them out seem like a jerk. Because I remember when Heroes was popular, like, it's so cool. This one character's power is he can steal other powers. Yeah, that's Rogue. No. Like,
but it's a guy.
But it's a guy, so it's not. Oh, okay, that sounds just like Rogue. Yeah, he grew up in as a watchmaker's son, and he talks about this whole monologue of time. Oh, like Dr. Manhattan? No. Why can't you just enjoy it and shut up and let him steal ideas? Ooh, apparently, here's the connection. Don't forget, M. Night Shyamalan Lama Ding Dong was the executive producer of Heroes.
Was he?
I
did not know that.
That makes a whole lot of sense, actually.
I didn't know that. I knew that it's Bad Robot. No, it's not Bad. Who? Okay, wait.
Yeah, oh gosh, I don't know who the team was.
It wasn't. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, it wasn't Bad Robot. Wow, that does say a lot.
It makes a whole lot of sense.
That was very sobering.
Let's see. It's a lot older than Rogue. Yes, but I'm just talking because the X-Men ties.
What's older than Rogue?
Apparently that concept.
Oh, stealing powers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the context of
an X-Men creator working on it. I think we know.
Yeah, X-Men creator and like all the other characters combined. Oh, she's a cheerleader, kind of like Wolverine. She's got healing abilities, like Wolverine.
I will say those commercials used to intrigue me before I knew what it was, but I didn't know it was going to be a superhero type thing.
They're like the cheerleader.
Yeah.
The whatever.
By the way, they never delivered on that. Like, save the cheerleader, save the world. And then we got into time travel and, like, an eclipse, and it, like, ended up just going absolutely crazy.
Wait a minute, it sounds like you actually watched that show.
I'd watched it, I think, on and off, because I think it was on for, like, several years.
Yeah, it was on for a long time.
And I think at the time, like, someone in my life, like, was into it and used to try to bond with me with it.
Is it your boyfriend?
No, because I was, like, 10.
Okay. That hurt.
The Gifted is like the X-Men.
What are you saying, Taylor? I'm old?
No!
You know how people go, they go to the extreme when you say something?
Get out of my house.
So what was that? Was that a crack?
Cut the stream.
Was that because I'm old? Is that it?
No!
Okay, go ahead.
The Gifted is like the X-Men, but much worse. Says none of your business.
Is that the new X-Men type show that they have out now?
I think so. I haven't watched it though, so I can't speak really about it.
Yeah, by the time Marvel gets the X-Men, like the Marvel cinematic universe gets the X-Men back, it's gonna be so picked over.
Every idea
is gonna be used in the worst of ways. They're going to have to totally reinvent that franchise.
Dynamo says, you guys are going to love my Crackle show, Gray and Beige.
Wait a minute. You can't do that.
It's Fox. It's on Fox. It's Marvel. Apparently The Gifted is X-Men. You guys are confusing me with The Gifted because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the only reason I remember that is, remember, like, San Diego, did you go that year where they had the big billboard?
Oh, yeah.
And you found all the anomalies with, like, this is a mundane, like, Norman Rockwell dinner scene. And then there's, like, he's got, like, lizard eyes.
That was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I thought the billboards and stuff were pretty cool. I thought it was a neat idea.
You know what was my favorite marketing ever that they did at San Diego? Remember when they had those guys, like, they were dressed up like scientists and they were running around the front area and they're like, my God, the simian flu is spreading. And they would give you the stuff for, it was for the...
Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, it was for Planet of the Apes. The simian flu, and they would not break character. I remember they were wearing those little like masks over their mouth with that monkey logo. I wanted one so bad. It was pretty cool. I just remember seeing, like, there was like a girl who was wearing like big glasses, but she was obviously like a model or something they had hired, and she was like selling it because I remember she ran past me and teaching. She's like, my God, this flu is spreading. She was just like running around like panicking. It was pretty awesome.
That's fun.
Stuff like that always works.
Perhaps more fun than the movie was.
You know, it was. Draken says, but I don't have a simian.
Simeon.
That patch is looking good, Art. I'm looking at it on the feed right now.
It's getting there.
Look at all those hatches.
Hitch. What did you do, Whitney?
Note the hole continuing through the wall behind him. Was the antidote Smirnoff? Says title. I don't know, but that would be cool. I think they were just giving people masks and stuff. Why do they always... Oh, Simeonoff. I thought it said Smirnoff. Oh, this is too hard to read title.
It's that Simioff.
Oh, you wrote it phonetically for me. Simeonoff. David Festino is signed for 9 episodes, says Dynamo. To Beige and Gray. I don't know who David Festino is. I want to say something funny about it, but
apparently he's not cool. Or is he?
Let's see. I gotta scroll back up to see what you guys are saying.
All right, I'm gonna finish structuring this gun, and then we're gonna end this wackiness.
Good, because I need some water.
Oh, you want some? I got some water.
Oh man, I should have
that
asked earlier. I'm getting lightheaded.
I'm getting dehydrated.
Thank you. I got too worked up talking the stupid Umbrella Academy.
Save it for another time.
I have so much to say about it, but I'm holding back because I really want you to watch it.
Okay, it's on Netflix?
It is on Netflix, yeah. You can't miss Ellen Page's sad, bloated face on the
So they even got
cover.
an X-Men actress to be in it.
I always forget that was her.
She was so good in the last one. Wait a minute, no she wasn't.
I thought she was walking away from acting, so I was like, I can tell she doesn't care about this role because it's probably taken out of desperation to fill out her pocket so she can keep doing Vice specials that nobody watches.
You know what I always thought with her? I always thought, like, if she could just meet the right man.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm just kidding.
That's
I
hilarious.
just want to anger everybody that's listening. Oh, a woman needs a good man. Is that it?
Everybody's gonna jump in. We know that she's homosexual. You don't have to tell us. Let's see.
That's what makes the joke funny.
Let's see.
She likes the ladies.
Ellen Page was a terrible shadow cat. Terrible. Okay.
I think you mean awesome.
Okay, while that's true, it wasn't her fault because the writing was terrible.
In which one?
All of them.
All of them. How do you mess up the X-Men?
Ellen Page stole Janine Garofalo's entire personality.
Oh my god!
Dynamo, that's amazing. He said, wait, I gotta finish it. Ellen Page stole Janine Garofalo's entire personality and gave it a huge forehead.
I even forgot about that Garofalo chick.
That is the most spot-on description I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Whenever like the chat cracks a joke like that, don't you always feel like maybe they should have their own show?
Is it them or the way we told it? No, that was a good one, Dynamo.
That was really good.
Ellen Page has always been self-absorbed. How... Rigger says, how is your forehead size the size of your whole face? The only reason I picked on her personal appearance earlier is because, like, if she had acting chops, I wouldn't, but she doesn't have either.
If she could transcend that forehead of hers?
Like, there are actors that aren't traditionally attractive that are excellent actors, but like if you don't have either of those and you can't even convincingly pretend like you're playing a violin and that's the only thing you're doing in the scene, then I don't know why you're hired. Because like nobody else in the show is like a name star, so they easily could have casted like a good actress to play Vanya that would have brought it and sold it, considering she's like the main character. Then your business says, ask Brie Larson. If I ever get the chance, I will.
Yeah.
We'll bring her in on Hacks Chat and let you guys ask her questions. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to explain. Everybody's roasting Ellen Page for her forehead right now.
Look what you started doing.
I was just roasting her because she was bad in the show. I didn't mean...
You're the one who brought up the forehead, right?
No!
Oh,
Dynamo did!
Oh, I thought it was you. I'm sorry. Dynamo.
I just said that she wasn't taking care of her physical appearance.
Especially her forehead.
Yeah, I mean...
It's growing at an accelerated rate.
She looks like a character from Big Mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I was never like an Ellen Page fan, but I find her personality a little repugnant. But
well, I think there's just one trait that a good actor should have, and they should be generous. You know what I mean? Like they should be able to interact, give the other actor a moment. You know, just be generous with your performance. And there are actresses and there's actors, well, actresses in Ellen Page, but there's actors that are incapable of doing that.
Yes.
It's like they're the only ones that are on screen. Like Brie Larson. Like there's no even room for like potential chemistry because she's never gonna give Sam Jackson anything to work against. You know what I mean? She's not gonna give them anything.
Yeah.
And I always feel like Ellen Page is the same way. Like she's acting against like Patrick Stewart, right? And Patrick Stewart seems semi-wooden because she's not giving him anything to work against. You know?
Yeah, it's like, come on, this is a collaborative effort.
Do I have to bring everything to the scene? Can you give me something?
I might as well just be filmed. I could film this from home. We could superimpose this together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, whether you're here or not, it's not going to change the performance because you're not bringing anything. You're not giving me anything to work against.
We're not in competition with one another. You can tone it down.
Yeah.
The thing that drives me crazy is in the case of the Umbrella Academy, she is handed a role that I'm not going to say it's an easy role, but it's a role that an actress that's remotely likable would really thrive in and sell the show, because she's playing the character that's born among superhero like superpowered siblings, but she's the ordinary one. So she's the everyman. And she's kind of tragic, and she's supposed to be very sweet and feeling, and she's kind of...
God, they cast the wrong
Yes, because it's like Vanya's role in the show, and I know she's a little different in the comic, but like, she's the everyman. She's the only one in the Umbrella Academy who doesn't have powers. So she's gotten to know all these kids on a personal level. Kind of got to know the dad on a different level because he didn't value her as a superhero. He kind of more valued her as a person, I guess. And then the whole family turned on her because she wrote a tell-all book. So she's kind of got this whole... It's an easy role to sell as a lead character that's sympathetic if you have an actress that has any likability and any warmth.
Yeah.
Like, I can already think of, like, 3 actresses that could replace her really easily. But the other thing, too, is that they're supposed to all be around the same age, and she looks older than them. So it doesn't, I don't know. They're supposed to all be the exact same age. I feel like they could have picked an actress that, A, either was of a normal age and took better care of herself, or was younger that could play that up. I don't know.
Do you think they just went with a name, like a name actress, and maybe there was some geek cred because, you know, she did play, you know, an X-Men character and stuff like that? I
think so. I think that she just has, because she's the only character that really has a name in that cast, because everybody else is pretty much a no-name, and I don't know, that probably wasn't the best move. She's 31. She's only 31?
She's got some mileage.
See, that's the exact problem. Like,
well, she's also not a kid though. Like, she's 31, but she's also not a kid. So they're supposed to be young characters?
I can't tell, because the thing is, they seem like they'd be about in their 30s, because one of them has already been married and divorced.
Oh, okay.
So they're like adults, but Ellen Page looks like she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know. There's if she's in her 30s, then there's a lot more actors that they could pick that are in that age range that could play that part better.
Yeah.
Title says they wanted a 13-year-old, but they got a 31. That's funny.
Reverse.
Yeah.
Upside down.
And, like, she's almost not mousy enough to play a mousy character, but she's not attractive enough to be an attractive character. So she's in a weird zone.
Do you think, like, when she was younger, she was kind of like that butchy girl with, like, the hoarse voice? You know, like, oh, she's kind of like
a little tomboy.
You know, so that was her charm.
And it's cute when they're, like, young.
When they're cute. When they're young and cute. But then when they get older, they're just kind of butchy dykey.
And you're like, is she 41? Or like, what is happening?
Yeah.
She looks like she is 45, says Rhaegar. I don't know.
You know what? When Winona Ryder ages better than you.
I know. I'd like to see Winona Ryder play that role. She would do it way better as like a tortured, non-superpowered being in a family of superheroes. I would believe it. Like, she looks like she'd write a tell-all book exposing them. That might be the perfect casting. It was an Offspring reference. I know, Title. He drew a 13, or oh God, what was it? The tattoo. He's getting
Give it to me, baby.
He's getting a tattoo now. He's getting ink done. He asked for 13, but they drew a 31. I'm 36 with 2 kids and no sleep, and I feel like I'm more put together. Says DK cards. Yeah, I don't know. Who is art drawing? Asked Durakin.
It's Reed Blackett, aka Black.
Of Black and White.
And this is a big reveal. He's actually got the black suit, the new black suit on.
Oh shoot, he does!
I just realized.
Spoiler alert.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. They would have known. So much for the big reveal.
The new black suit might appear in a scene or two.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
You'll have to buy the book and read it to find out. Let's see. You guys are talking about her Vice show. I don't want to derail by talking about that Vice show. Dynamo says low energy and unimpressed isn't a marketable personality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess when you're like young-ish or cute-ish, you can get away with some, a little bit more. Because she was cute when she was younger.
When she was younger, yeah. There's a one particular scene in Umbrella Academy that I was like, if a really good actress did this scene, then you'd really feel for them. But since Ellen Page seems so repugnant and uninterested, it doesn't work. Where she wrote a tell-all book about her family, and it isolated her from her family because it painted her dad in a bad light. So she comes back to his house after he had died, and she picks up the book, and she sees that she wrote him something nice in the front of the book. And she asks his friend, like, hey, did he ever read it? And he goes, I don't know that he ever did. And then she just puts it away. If it would have been like a really sympathetic actress that asked that question, then you would that would have sold that scene, their relationship. But it wasn't.
It must be really hard when you're a writer and you come up with this idea. This whole idea hinges on this one moment, right?
Yes.
This one moment. Like if they could nail this, then it will set the tone for everything. It'll make it so much easier. To write this thing down the line, to sell these ideas, and then you get that as a performance, and you're just like, this is going to be monumentally harder to write every episode now.
You destroyed my character, thank you.
Thanks for making this practically impossible for me to sell this character now.
Dynamo says, what if they did it, but it was David Cross in a wig?
I like David Cross.
Then it would be even better.
It's so funny that you brought up David Cross. Like, there was a character. What was that one superhero DreamWorks thing where Brad Pitt was in it?
Megamind.
Megamind. And by the way, I had an idea like that before that Megamind came out, and I still might do it.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. And there's that. Remember that villain sidekick that's got like the fish for the head?
Oh yeah.
And he's got like the ape body and like robot aspects. Isn't that a lot like that Umbrella Academy character?
Yeah, he's in this particular version. He's just a straight up ape. Like I don't think he has like a human consciousness. He's like an ape they made intelligent.
But in the Umbrella Academy, wasn't it like a robotic ape, or there was some like he had a robot body, but he had like. Well, he had an ape body, but he had robot parts?
Yeah,
something?
they didn't give him robot parts for some reason. And they also, like...
So wait, is it a computer-generated ape, or is it like a guy in a suit? Or?
He's like a bad CGI ape in like an old man sweater.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's not very cool.
Wait. See if you can find that Umbrella Cat. Am I thinking... Because there was... Remember that old character?
MODOK?
No, it's a black and white, like, sci-fi.
Let me see if I can
where
find
they were just recycling, like, whatever they had in wardrobe, and they came up with this character. Was it one of those, what is that guy's name that they made that, yeah, there he is, right there.
I think that's the...
Right, is that
I'm
him?
clicking it. This is,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a human head, he's got a robot... partial ape body. Yeah, he's just a straight up ape in the show.
Well, that's hardly fun.
It's not very cool. And it's kind of an iconic thing. But
that's a cool design. I like that.
Yeah.
What is that guy's name that Johnny Depp played the character, and he was a director in Hollywood? Ed Wood?
Wait, what am I looking up here?
I think there was a character that idea was based on, and it's an ape with like some kind of, it looks like that, and he has antennas. Like he has like a TV type.
Oh,
head.
I know what you're talking about.
And he has antennas, and I think there's like robotic aspects to him. I thought it was an Ed Wood movie. Is it Plan 9?
Oh gosh, let me see. Let's see here. I know you guys can't see this, but if it shows up, let's see what we got here.
Maybe if we just type in monkey ape or ape robots, 50s or 40s sci-fi. Because it's iconic. He's got like a TV set, like face, and like antennas. I think it's like an ape body.
Does anybody in the chat know what we're talking about? MODOK? No. Not MODOK.
It's a movie character.
Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Is there a guy Umbrella Academy turns into a kaiju? Yeah, that's Ben. He's the famous one who died. Spoiler alert.
Like monkey, like Hollywood 1940s ape robot. I don't know.
All this Planet of the Apes stuff is showing up.
Yeah, and King Kong. Man, I remember seeing that thing a billion times.
Look. Here he is holding the thing.
Yeah, that's the actor, or that's later. Yeah.
There we go.
He's got like a TV set head. Yeah, I always thought that was kind of what the Umbrella Academy was taking from. And, that type of idea.
Let's see. I don't know, like,
And then they did that in that,
Robot Monster, says Jim Bobo. It was just called Robot Monster?
Yeah, we found it. But they used that same idea in that,
Umbrella Academy.
The DreamWorks movie.
In Megamind, yeah.
In Megamind, yeah.
But he had like a fish inside the bowl.
Yeah, he had a fish instead of like the TV set thing.
Yeah. I guess the creature's name is literally Robot Monster.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Was that in a...
That's funny.
Was that... I want to say that was an Ed Wood movie. But there was a lot of cheesy like sci-fi stuff at the time. So, should we, since I did get the gun done, should we maybe start wrapping this up?
Yeah. Let's, if you watch Umbrella Academy at some point, we'll do a little head-to-head thing with, I wish we could watch that, Doom Patrol, but I don't know. We'll see. So...
You love that. You love the Umbrella Academy. You highly recommend it.
Yeah, if you guys catch up, I really recommend watching it. I found Ellen Page to not be repugnant at all. And I found her frown lines to be charming.
Yes, and her big forehead. And
her large forehead is very endearing. And her sweater looked like it had a stain on it, but I think that was a part of the character.
She was drooling.
So yeah.
She got a little mustard.
Don't forget, Black and White is still available on In Demand on Indiegogo. That is the book you are seeing artwork on right now. It's the book we co-art together. Art's doing the artwork. Look how beautiful it is. You can own it. It's in demand. It'll remain in demand until we go to printing. And on February 20th, Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too is going to be added to the In Demand store, which is Art's first and only art book. It's going to be added as a tier. You'll be able to purchase it and it'll be able to be sent to you initially, or you can get the bundle if you haven't ordered Black and White yet, and the two will be shipped together February 20th. That's 2 days from now. None of your businesses. Don't forget her greasy hair. Don't forget Ellen Page's greasy hair in Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, she doesn't wash her head. What's wrong with that?
She needs some milk. And I don't know why. I don't know
what that means.
I don't know why I quoted that. Forget
is that good for hair? Is like dairy product good for hair?
Forget I ever said that. And don't forget to support Black and White, support Oodles. Spread the word about Oodles for people who get it, because there are only 180 copies in existence, and you can only get it in demand on February 20th.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. hanging out with us, letting me draw for you, and being so good in the chat. I'm really thinking that you guys we just need a chat show.
We do.
Where the chat just entertains everybody. Because most of the time you guys are way more entertaining than we are. So thank you so much. You guys are so good to us. Thank you for all the support. And like Taylor said, oodles in 2 days. So Wednesday the 20th. This book will be available for you guys. So thanks and enjoy your Monday.
Thanks for being a part of the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.